I'm a bath guy.
After you work on the farm?
Yeah, how do you wash your feet?
You scrub them with a scrubber.
Oh, yeah, you guys aren't actual man-sized. I forgot.
No, you got to get the loofah, the actual scrub that nature makes. No, nature makes.
So you don't soak in salt?
No, you can't. Yeah, Epsom salt.
I soak in salt every day.
But I'm just saying, well, you also don't farm in like 100-degree weather, or do you?
No, but I sweat a lot. I like sweating a lot.
Yeah.
It's the one way I know I'm not a J.
Comment.
No, I my dad is a quarter J, and like I don't think they sweat.
Yeah.
We can leave that for another podcast.
So you're an 8th J, but what about the dad? My dad hated me too. I think I told you that yesterday. But no, when I read the book, I was like, this sucks, dude. But
my dad didn't want to be a parent.
Yeah, but I wonder if that was like my mom.
Was he part J?
I don't even know, dude. I don't really know a whole lot of the history, but I don't think so. But my mom was like, yeah, dude, people have kids to have. She was raised on a farm in PA. She's like, people have kids to have free labor.
Yeah.
So don't ever get that twisted. Like, you're not here because we love you. We're not your friend. It was like, you're going to do all these chores. And
right.
Like, but then, I was just always like looking back. I didn't know it back then, but now I'm like, wow, they really didn't want to be parents, man. So then when I read
I mean, your mom's attitude is kind of based, though. I mean, I'm down with the love, though. It's cool to love your kids. But to give them a purpose of, like, farm chores, I think is awesome.
Same. And it made me who I am. Like,
to
totally.
Have
that many chores was like, when I went to a job, I was like, yeah, no problem.
Dude, I was delivering papers like a business owner at 9. You know, I'm knocking on doors, getting people's money.
You seem like, though, if you threw a paper,
I didn't throw it.
I go through people's window.
No,
okay.
no.
Like you break.
No, I never respected the throw guys. I thought that was really bad paper.
You walked it all the way to the door?
I'd put it in the mailbox or in the rings or inside, or else it'd get wet.
It's funny. My mom talked about that when I was a kid. Okay, before we go too far,
what did your mom say about that?
She was always like, I can't believe, they put the newspaper in plastic so it doesn't get wet when it rains, but then you get wet when you go out to get it because it's at the end of the driveway.
I'd bring it all the way up. And I'd get a tip.
You would have got a huge tip.
Because I was in the service business and media at 9.
I love that. Wait, was that before or after you were like in the stocks getting stuff
That was
thrown?
in late high school and then early college.
Okay.
And then I was in a movie where I was in the stocks getting hit by tomatoes. And then when I crowdfunded for the farmland where we do Bertaria and stuff, I let a certain donor level throw tomatoes at my face.
I love that.
That was so fun.
I love that.
Yeah. It was Jerusalem Tomatoes Heritage. Shout out to my buddy Permy Bear's seed company. I don't want to get his URL wrong. I got to look that up.
I'll buy seeds from him.
Dude, he's a great guy.
Okay, so the point isn't that demons are real and coming for you, although that's definitely true. The point
That's what I mean,
that,
man. I'm sorry. I apologize. He's not a podcaster. This is like, it's abrupt.
No, I'm
weird.
into this.
You're into this?
No, this matches my autism perfectly.
You like this?
Yeah.
You're
Oh,
into
yeah,
that?
yeah.
All
yeah.
right,
we're
good.
tight.
All right,
Okay.
keep going, Matt. You're good.
The point is that when you vacate yourself, dude, all the bears that watch are like pumped for this, dude. Like
Awesome.
very pumped.
Awesome. I'm pumped.
The point is that when you vacate yourself, when you hollow yourself out through trauma and vanity and materialism and the externalization of all authority, you become a vessel for something. Maybe it's demonic, or maybe it's just the worst parts of human nature somehow filling the void. Either way, the antidote is the same. Develop a self, develop discipline, morality, love, health, and gratitude. If you have a strong inner world, there isn't space for something strange to get in. That's what Kanye West was grappling with when he called me during his public meltdown. He was saying some true things and trying to break out of whatever programming he was in. I asked him, are you running a script? He said, who's writing it, God?
Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm a pretty good judge of tone, and that dude seemed sincere. I didn't take money from him. I didn't use him. I gave him what I thought was good advice. But looking back, someone was writing that script. And the question of who is writing the script is the question of this entire chapter. Well, you want to unpack that? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Dude, that's a solid paragraph.
Yeah.
Who wrote that?
Because I write it like I talk, and people seem to appreciate that. Like some people are like, dude, I don't even like reading, and I read the whole book really fast because I write it like how people talk. Because a lot of smart boys like to write to sound smart, but it makes it confusing sounding.
Yeah, we talk about how like the job of a philosopher is to make things as complicated as possible.
Yes.
That's literally what
Yes.
philosophy is.
Yeah.
The job of a gospel preacher is to make things as simple and clear as possible.
Yeah, Jesus' metaphors are as simple as possible. You know, and they're all like farming metaphors. That's one reason why I think I can see some of the biblical stuff clearer than some of the city pastor types, because it's like super agrarian, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, when it comes to farm stuff, it's just there's no reset button. It's like
Yeah,
if you didn't
yeah.
plant the seed, like you're screwed.
Exactly.
You didn't harvest at the right time, like you don't get anything. Like,
And it's infinite abundance as long as you walk the narrow path. It's like, it's exactly it. Oh, so that paragraph. So, you know, it's like a physics thing where a vacuum will suck towards into the vacuum. So if you have an emptiness inside of you, then that allows something else to enter. And that's not even theological. I mean, it is theological, but a secularist could totally grant me that. You know, where that's how diffusion or osmosis or these things happen. You have to have a ball roll downhill. You have to have, you know, a negative to pull the charge in a battery. And so if you don't have a self, if you don't have a morality, if you don't love anything, if you aren't something, then anybody else can just jump in.
Yeah.
And then, you know, there obviously is spiritual influence, you know, and so that's when you just start seeing like, dude, I don't know if that thought was really yours, you know, like, who are you?
Right.
And that's why as a comedian, I make fun of identity so much, like race or whatever the I am is, even if it's like veteran or patriot or wheelchair guy, you know,
yeah,
it's
you
like,
trash them all.
yeah. Cause it's what I'm doing is like chipping away at the I am that's like a construct where this vanity starts building up, because that's a doorway in.
And so many times it's like a group identity too. Cause I was in rehab. Like I was seeing like counselors and stuff as a little kid, cause there was like always something wrong with me. And I was always like, no, there's not. like everything's cool. But I noticed that like in rehab, dude.
That's so funny.
When I lived in a rehab, they were like, oh,
What was it rehab for?
I was on meth. By the grace of God, when I was 15, I got hooked on meth, not by the grace of God of that, but I went into rehab long enough.
By the grace of God, I did some meth.
Yeah.
I
but
invaded Poland.
I was in there long enough to be like, okay, I don't want to quit mushrooms and acid and like coke and stuff, but note to self, like, don't do the meth. Because
What's meth like?
Well, the crazy thing is it feels like, I guess what you would think like heaven feels like initially. Like you feel like bright and full of life and lovely. And then next thing you know, you look in the mirror like 9 days later and you've just got pock marks all over your face.
How long would you stay awake?
I stayed up 8 days one
Whoa.
time. Yeah. I was hallucinating and stuff. My
You
uncle,
see like shadows and shit?
yeah, dude. My uncle was a Vietnam War vet. He heard I got kicked out of the house. He like sent a taxi to get me, and we threw my bike in the taxi. I lived in Livermore, and he was in San Leandro. Went out there, smoked meth with him for like a couple hours, which I thought was like
Was that your
weed.
first time?
It was my first time smoking it. I had been snorting it like that whole summer, but thought it was like weed. You just smoke a ton, and then the next day you're like, oh.
You're like, this weed's getting me super productive.
No, 8 days later, I was like, Uncle Pete, I got to go home, man. Like, I got to get back to town.
I've been prescribed Adderall before. How does that
I
compare?
snorted Adderall for a little while when I was a grown-up. I don't remember. I just remember they were orange, and I think they get you like, I think I actually planted out a garden really good one day on Adderall, actually.
Yeah. No, because I do actually, whatever, you know, I know ADD is kind of like a nonsense thing
Yeah.
to sell bullshit.
Yeah.
But I understand why people would like that for minds that are always jumping, like
Yeah.
creative minds, because it does kind of focus you, but, you know, it can like deaden you too. You know, it makes you kind of just tunnel vision a little too much.
Yeah, you just end up in delusion. Like it starts off feeling that incredible, but by the time you like figure out what's going on, it's like the bowler hat guy from Meet the Robinsons, dude. Like he thinks it's all good, and then he doesn't realize what the bowler hat did to him, you know?
Yeah, for me, it was more alcohol. Like my hometown, there is no sober people.
Sure.
So like our social interaction was always with a ton of alcohol. And I think alcohol might be one of the more dangerous substances.
Sure.
I think it's like, because, you know, it's one of the only drugs that can kill you when you quit.
Right.
You know, and people do so much. Like, think about the domestic violence and the things that people do drunk that they wouldn't do sober, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, at scale, it's got to be.
It's insane, dude. It's just like a demonic suction.
And you can get it in a grocery store.
Exactly.
It's like.
Yeah, with a lethal amount, like one bottle, like that, one of those big bottles of vodka. Like you drink all that, you're dead.
Do you drink?
I'll have like mead or wine or beer or something that a neighbor makes. My rule is I try not to drink anything commercial.
Right.
And so that way, like my brother rolls cigarettes is his way of like not smoking.
Sticking it to the man.
Yeah, and just slowing it down.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not against having alcohol, but I haven't been drunk in like a long time.
Same.
Yeah.
So you stay off the Adderall too, or
Yeah.
you had it for a while though?
Well, yeah. I mean, in Hollywood, they prescribed it because I'd have to memorize like 40-page scripts.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was helpful for that shit, but it's like it makes you less charismatic. Like ironically, it would make me talk a lot less
Because you were just locked in.
because you just be locked in. Like you're just like locked in. It's ironically not good for what I do for a living. People would think it would be good, but
Right.
it wouldn't help. It's only good if I have to like memorize a ton of shit and just stay on one thing.
Yeah, because probably you're not going to actually on any kind of deep level connect with people when you're like so locked in.
Yeah, because it's like completing tasks.
Yeah.
You know, it would be like if you wanted to clean a lot or something.
Yeah. So what do you think about Kanye's script, dude? You think that like ultimately God has like written this script for people? Because like in the church we talk about it as like predestination.
Yeah,
Some people,
that's interesting. That's an interesting thing. What do you think? Because I believe in predestination, and free will at the same time.
Same.
Yeah,
well, I think the Bible's clear on both.
but yeah, and I'm just allowing the paradox because I feel like with a wide enough angle, paradoxes disappear. How do you do that? How do you handle both of those at the same time?
So predestination is like God is the maker of everything.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
He knew us before time. Like
Yes.
he made us.
Yeah, it's
free.
like a record. It's like a record. You can like he's outside of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like a helicopter that's watching the parade. Like if me and you were watching the parade, we can only see the thing that goes by like this. But so he makes all of us for a very specific destiny.
Yeah.
So we're predestined. Like you're not going to tell me the guy with the sign out there was predestined to live like that, like to be a bum on the street. That wasn't what God made him for. But he makes us with a destiny, and with our free will, we either lock in with that destiny or we don't. And like that's the whole purpose of the Bible is he's like, here's a messaging system so you can get at me. Now, if you want to control people with it or be controlled by institutions with it, that's on you because that's not what this book teaches. But like that's like my main prayer for people is like let this person fulfill the destiny that you made him for.
So true, man.
So it's like both. It's if you have free will, like he made you with a decision maker. But in his foreknowledge, he knows what you'll do with that decision maker. But he didn't like tighten the decision maker to make you make certain decisions.
Yeah.
So like Kanye could absolutely. That's why I was reading this and I was intrigued to hear more what your thoughts are on it. Was just that like yeah, like and I could see where somebody would be like, what's happening? I feel like this is like the Truman Show almost. Like there is this script. Like there is this thing
Right.
funneling me this way. But I'm still choosing what I want to do every day.
Yeah, it's almost like that part of the Bible. I don't know which part it is, but it talks about what is the quote? It's something about how the enemies or the weapons forged or the plans of the wicked, it ends up benefiting the blessed,
Sure.
right? Or it's almost like the wicked will have these plans, and then the structures they build will be used for a positive thing.
Yeah.
And I think that happens a lot with these scripts. And so who do I think was – I think Kanye had good intentions. And when he said God, I think he was being honest. But when you're that deep in that life, I think that there's a – and he had that much influence. There was like a lot of forces trying to get in there. And, you know, the more he'd succumb to like porn or whatever, the more that would get opened up, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, like, do you feel like your life is scripted as well, right? Like, do you feel
Yeah,
like...
no, I see synchronicities and stuff all the time that kind of let me know that it's bigger than me. And I just have to try and be strong and not, you know, succumb to weaknesses because that just sends me off on these like dumb scripts where it's like I can't conceive of how good God's plan is, even when I think I can. Like, I'll get so bummed that I'll be kicked off something or something doesn't work out or something. Well, not now, but before I would be so bummed, but I'd hold the line and then I'd realize that I got saved from something. Like I got kicked out of hell.
Yeah,
you
dude,
know?
think of where your life could be
Dude,
right now.
it's I wouldn't have my kids that I love. Like I would have been on the road with every one of those ovulations.
Right.
Like, no, like,
Right.
and I couldn't conceive of that level of being like a family man.
But do you feel like God like saved you out of that system? Because like people,
100%.
yeah, people go in that system and they're gone, dude. I don't care how much dollars they have, like they're gone. Like,
Yeah, and for me, it was just like, as a craftsman, like the guild we were talking about, it's like I just wanted to be great at comedy, and I never craved money. I just like a scoreboard. I like honor fair competition. So I think that's what kind of helped me is I didn't covet like shiny bullshit. I just wanted to be like good at my job. And so when I wasn't allowed to do my job, it'd be like being kicked out of the carpenters union or something. You know, you're like, but I'm a carpenter. But I got to see that comedy is anywhere you are. You know, like you can do a comedy club in a hayfield. Yeah. And dude, that's why the Bertaria thing, when people talk shit about it, I'm like, it's one of the coolest things that I've ever witnessed. And if people want to look into it, it's really fascinating to see a comedian at my level be kicked out of clubs. Like I would rent a theater with my own money. And then last minute, they'd say, you can't perform here. That's top. Like, remember when you booked me? It's like, I'm actually canceled by the system.
Well, that's actually the story and why I'm more intrigued by you. I feel like God was like, hey, watch this guy. This guy, you better watch this guy. Like, keep an eye on this guy because you probably don't know this, but like the fact that you got kicked out. I mean, we covered this on the Owen Benjamin is King David
That
episode.
was so funny.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I saw clips of it.
Okay. The whole episode's pretty good. But one of the things is that, like, if you don't get invited to Bro Grove last year, Top doesn't get kicked out of Leesburg. If Top doesn't get kicked out of Leesburg, Top doesn't come here.
Exactly.
And like none of this is even happening.
You want to know something funny? We were when we were working with Clint, right across the street from where Clint lived and the theater that we were supposed to perform was a coffee shop that was owned by the guy that is my neighbor. And we were looking at space above that coffee shop.
Inside you are 2 coffee shops.
Yes. Both of them are gay. No, well, we were actually going to rent the space above the coffee shop, move that studio from Clint's house into the coffee shop, and it all fell apart fantastically.
So you were predestined to work with a coffee shop. One was good, one was shitty.
I'm sure this coffee shop is fine. I don't know, but it's just not that one. Not that one. This one.
That's a good answer. I guess I can be a little too intense.
Yeah, and with
no offense to that other coffee shop, I'm sure it was fine.
With Top's Israeli background, when he got here, he was like, hey, I was gonna rent over there.
Not true.
How about you pay me for me to be here? And somehow he got me to like do that. So
yeah, pure chutzpah.
Yeah, he's a brilliant businessman.
Dude, it's the Puerto Rican hips.
Yeah,
they can move them. I don't even know if you are Puerto Rican. I always just do that bit.
Nobody's sure, dude.
Oh, you are Puerto Rican?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, his parents are, but it's like maybe black, maybe.
Yeah,
like,
someone hopped the fence.
The first thing I asked him was, "Oh, you're Jewish?" When I first met him.
That's so funny, dude. He could be an Israeli.
That's what I'm saying.
He could also be Iranian.
And he was mad. I didn't know everybody
might be making a nuke.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into the Wizards, dude, because here's the thing I think I told you yesterday, but there was a lot going on, so I don't really remember. But, like, this is a book that I think every Christian in America should read. How to Slay a Wizard.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that,
No,
man.
I'm saying specifically all your stuff you're tying into the world, it all applies to the modern American church. And this concept of like not loving the world is a major concept of scripture that the modern system has just failed to like recognize. That's why when coronavirus happened, it was like, how did all the church people fall for it? Like, I get it if the world falls for it. They take the world's rules and obey the world like we don't. So like, how did they all fall for it? It's because they don't get taught that the world's evil.
Dude, I was trying to find a church at that point, and that's when I started doing more of my own thing, because every one of them, I'd go to a church in North Idaho, and then they'd like pass out masks and shit, and then, and I'm like, how do you not see it though?
Yeah.
And then I go to the based one, and there's like a big Israeli flag behind me. It was fun. It was funny. It was like I was there with a Navy SEAL vet, and they were like, and he was looking for a church at the time too, and they were so wrong about the Middle East and war, and they were pushing all the Israeli bullshit. He was just like laughing.
But it's political institutions, dude, when you get down to it.
Oh, yeah, they parachute him right in. I think they train him somewhere.
I mean, they do.
Dude, the guy was like, and in the butt, like he was doing his whole thing. You know, he was doing his whole song
like an
and
actor.
Dance. Yeah, it was
which
totally.
Jesus is totally against, because that word hypocrite in the Greek is actor.
Dude, you're not allowed to be buried next to real people if you're an actor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why stand-up comics are like, we're like the hand models in Zoolander, because I'm not really an actor. I'm playing a archetype of myself to get a joke across.
Right.
Like, I don't like disappear into a lie like a lot of actors, you know? And that's why I like I can like bridge those worlds.
Vince Vaughn's a real one though, right?
It's awesome. Yeah, but he's always kind of playing himself. He's like, baby, I'm a French prince today.
Right.
You know, it's like, he's just like doing his craft in different roles.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, we're tight too. I don't know if you know that I'm tight with Vince Vaughn.
Are you really?
Yeah. We spent some time in Italy together. I don't know if Top's got the pictures.
I got the picture up on the stream,
But,
they're
Dude,
not
Vince
tight.
is great. So he's lying to me right now.
He's literally
Show him the
lying.
picture,
How
man.
dare you?
You can show him the picture.
All right, let me see what I got here. All right, so he's a real one, but
He's a real one. There's some real one. I mean, that's why I'd host the Art Director Guild Award. Were we live when we were talking about that? It's like
who knows?
the
Who knows
guys
if we're
that
still live.
the guys that build the sets. There's a lot of real ones in Hollywood. They're like good guys. A lot of the art directors, a lot of the sound engineers. You know, there's people that are just really good at their jobs.
Matt, oh, you got it.
There's good writers.
Yeah,
you know?
here's me, my wife, and Vince Vaughn. But the coffee
nice.
beans, a bear actually put. Hold on, that's not a good one.
No, I used to tour with Vince. Vince was a producer on the sitcom I was on for 3 years.
Another bear made that one too. But that's a real picture. The knife isn't real, but that's a real picture.
Nice. No, he's solid. He's genuine.
Yeah, I really liked his. Did you write for him then? Like, did you do some of his jokes, or like, how are you guys?
No, he was a producer on Sullivan and Son on TBS. I was on a sitcom for 3 years. And he also, the Wild West Comedy Tour, where we would do a stand-up show on the road in a tour bus. And so I was the closer for that tour.
Yeah, he just seems like a solid dude, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And
He convinced you to be a dad?
100%.
Yeah, that's a.
And it was simple. It was just male mockery. Like, it's kind of like I make fun of dudes and like razz dudes to like strengthen them. It's not like I'm trying to break people. And nobody in Hollywood was doing that. You know, nobody was like, yo, why don't you have kids? What are you, gay?
Yeah.
You know? And it's like my hometown, no one was really doing that. It was like, and when it's just something awakened in me when he was saying that, where it's like, yeah, I remember he said like, quit pulling out like a coward. You know, and I was like,
line.
it is true. Cause I used to, you know, when you're raised with pornography and all this stuff,
Yeah.
you're like, oh yeah, look at me launch. And then you're like, dude, that is kind of pathetic and gay. You know, where it's like, not to get a little graphic, but it's like at the end, you got to do a couple tugs on your own. Like, that's weird.
That's
you know?
a little weird.
It's not like a fully heterosexual experience to pull out and launch, you know? And so I started realizing that as someone who's like probably the most heterosexual guy in the world, I had to
Sure.
face this. Where I was like, I just kept pulling out and ending in a very pathetic way.
Yeah, not till Vince Vaughn got a hold of you then.
Yeah. he said,
No, that's great. We
you
can
is
don't,
gay.
pull, you don't pull out of a conflict. He was like, you pull out of Iraq too early. You don't fucking end the conflict.
He's funny, man.
Dude,
But yeah,
so funny.
We compared him to King David. Had a friend like that. I'm guessing you would definitely mock this relationship. Though,
Well,
with David and Jonathan. I was like,
No, Vince would be the king. Like, I'm not the guy above. Like, Vince is the dominant guy.
okay,
Like he is. Like I wouldn't be the King David, and you know, he wouldn't be the one helping me get the foreskins from the 200 Giants. I would be holding the bag of foreskins for him,
okay, that's fair.
which I would do, Vince. If you needed foreskins, I'd hold the bag. I mean, allegedly, I'm not gonna. I mean, that's a felony in every state.
Fair point. Valid point. Did you want to be in the show, or did you just? Okay. No, it's cool.
Dude, this is a functioning coffee shop.
Yeah, she does a great job.
Dude, I love how pumped you get about shit when you were having me try the drink yesterday.
Yeah, I wanted you to like get comfortable. Like you got jet lag, and you're kind of coming in. You're like, where am I? What, Florida, man? Like, what's happening here?
Yeah, because my life is so stable and like barefoot and like
Yes,
natural
yeah.
that like being on a plane, it does kind of rattle you a little bit.
Yeah, you got to see everybody again, and all the business people.
Dude,
and
all
their
these
hustle
like
and bustle.
all these weirdos in Orlando airport that definitely got molested wearing fucking mouse ears, like my heart hurts.
Yeah, grown-ups that love Disney.
Dude, they're like, I'm here to see Mickey. And I'm like, my heart, because I'm actually like super empathetic.
Yeah.
So I like feel shit. And so when you're in those public zones, that's why I have like headphones in. I'm listening to podcasts.
Beethoven.
Yeah, because I'm like, I feel what they are.
That's a weird one. I just couldn't stand in the lines, dude. People were like,
Dude, and the lines go so slow. There was every rental car place, there'd be one person, and they were like taking like 20 minutes. And I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, move.
yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I'm not into that at all.
I'm not into lines at all.
But that's another weird thing is the modern American church loves Disney because like modern American church is just don't say cuss words, don't drink and smoke, like don't do like inappropriate things. But it's like, yo, it's the magic kingdom. And you break down what magic is better than
Exactly.
like 9 out of 10 pastors can.
Enchantment.
Yeah. All right, let's read this a little bit. I also want to say something before we go any further. Nothing in this book is a threat to you. Nothing here is bad for you. It's all very real, and once you see it, it's shockingly easy to understand. You will start seeing it everywhere immediately, and it will never stop. That's totally true, and that's why I'm saying people should read this book. And the most important thing I can tell you right now, more important than any definition, is this. You are exactly how you should be right now. Everything is functioning perfectly. I know that sounds like a strange thing to say at the beginning of a book about manipulation, but it's the foundation of everything that follows because so much of wizardry depends on convincing you of the opposite. A wizard, according to the dictionary, I trust, is a philosopher or sage, a wise person. That sounds fine, but the definition continues. A man skilled in the occult arts. In the 1550s, a man who does wonders as his profession. That second part is where I have my issue. A man who does wonders as his profession. His livelihood depends on it. His career, his name, his family's ability to survive, all of it built on you not knowing how the trick works.
100%. Because the wonders are from God. Like conception, like a tomato having 100 tomato seeds in it.
Yeah.
Right? So in order for a wizard to be the wonder above everything we're living and seeing all the time, like the cloud, like a cloud, the sun, friendship, right? Water, swimming, like the sound of a piano. It's like to try and get above that has to be a trick. And so that's what a wizard needs to do. And a trick requires you to not know of something going on, like that there's a compartment in the hat and the rabbit's always been there,
Yeah.
And so it is a trick. And tricks are like, this sounds intense, but it's almost like rape. It's like there's not consent.
No, it is like rape.
Yeah.
But there's this weird kind of consent. It's like, okay.
Right, like if you go to see a magician, there's a little bit of a consent versus like, I'm a news reporter is like rape. If they're lying, like if they're presenting that their job is to tell the truth and they're not and they're tricking, they're not allowing you to consent.
But you key in on this thing that like they do put it right under our nose. Like it's not hidden in plain sight.
The high level guys, they have to, or else they get crushed.
Yeah.
They can't. Yeah, like the big boys, they have to like say it with a slogan, with music, with a jingle. Like when I talked about all the obey your thirst and all that shit. Yeah. It's like, they have to make it so clear, and that way they don't get struck down immediately. I think there is spiritual consequence for just lying. That's why a lot of times they'll be like, what if I told you that, ... That's why I make the claim. This book is not dangerous to you.
Right.
Because I can make that claim.
Yeah.
They can't. They have to be like, 4 out of 5 dentists agree that I made up in my head. You know?
But it's profound though. Like you go down the list of like Nike. What's the deal with the Nike
Just
slogan?
do it was the final words of a serial killer right before he was electrocuted.
And people are just not walking around the earth loving Nike, rocking the Nike, like everything's good, and it's all been like brought forth by a serial murderer's last words.
Yeah, definitely. If anyone's demon possessed, it's that guy, and his final words are like, just do it, which is basically like obey your impulses. Like
Which
just
is Sprite, same thing.
That's why I would invert every inversion where I'd say just build it.
Yeah.
It was persistence is futile. No, what was that one in Star Trek? It was resistance is futile. I said persistence is fertile.
Good one.
Yeah, because it's like just flip it. Because they're showing you a roadmap of these words that are already branded as spells in people's minds. You could fill up those holes with actual reality, and that's why I was so banned. It wasn't because I was, vulgar. I mean, OnlyFans is turning everyone's daughters into whores. They don't care.
Yeah.
It was that I could take $1 billion ad campaign and ruin it in like one line of a joke.
Well, yeah, you key in on that in the book too. Is like the wizard's not worried that you're going to beat him up or kill him.
Right.
He's just worried that you're going to expose him and point it out for exactly what it is.
And everyone's narrative driven. They don't have any actual power.
Right.
They need other people to do everything. They can't build anything.
The Wizard of Oz.
Exactly. He's just a scared man at the end.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't even know how it works. And he's in an inflation balloon, right?
And Toto pulls the curtain. He's like, don't mind the guy behind there. Like all that. You get into all
and
that.
Toto means total, like everything, like the universal, God. And sometimes you don't see God because you don't look low enough, right?
That's in the book.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, what about the insurance industry, dude? You want to talk about? Because I've
Sure.
always thought this. I'm like, wait. So in America, like you go to a so-called doctor who isn't trained on like exercise, diet, sleep, how to balance like stress.
Yeah.
And that you're going to them for health care, supposedly, but you pay these thousands of dollars every month. But then when you go, you still have to pay them.
Right.
And you're like a crazy person if you say, yeah, I'm just not going to have insurance. But if everybody at one time said, I don't want insurance anymore, then like instantly the rates would drop.
Yeah, I have 4 sons and a wife. We don't have health insurance.
We never did either, dude. But like the whole idea behind it is like home insurance, car insurance, health insurance, business insurance. Like just go down the line of how many insurances you had to have.
It's the biggest companies in the world are all insurance companies.
Yeah. And
Bigger than oil, bigger than manufacturing, bigger than governments.
And it's just run on.
Because during COVID, that I figured that out, that it was because the government never sent a mask. The government never made anyone do a single thing. Because I was weighing this because I was like, I'm never taking a test. I'm never wearing a mask. I know how mind control works. I know this whole thing of like dehumanizing and following nonsense rules and all that. And I saw, and I would like talk to business owners why they were doing it, and they didn't want to lose their insurance, and they were the ones mandating it.
Yeah, we had people signing petitions to get us closed.
Yeah.
Like we weren't wearing a mask. And
Totally.
then it was madness when people would just like approach you and be like, "Why aren't you wearing a mask?" And I'd be like, "Why are you wearing open-toed shoes?
Right.
Like,
why are you gay?
Why are you coming at me?
Yeah.
Like this is so
Well, that's
weird.
why I was kicked off every single channel. I had 70 channels kicked off YouTube because I was giving people funny responses.
Yeah.
Where it's like, masks are for criminals and perverts. Which one are you, lady? Right? Like stuff like that, because it would work. Because comedy like reframes everything. My psychiatrist says I'm not allowed to wear a mask anymore. Like stuff like that, because you just smile. Yeah, it's like, and because I knew that it didn't make sense because it wasn't. They knew it didn't protect anyone. It's like, wear a mask until you sit down, then take your mask off.
But you get into that too, that like they say the most outrageous thing. How do you unpack that? That you're like, they say something just so profound. They like do the George Floyd "I can't breathe" at the same time.
Oh
that they're doing wear the mask.
They
make you just believe
joke.
something so crazy.
Polarity seating. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the idea behind that?
Well, like when they rolled AIDS out, they also had AIDS the diet pill. Is that in the book? Because I was doing, because I did a series as well as the book, and sometimes I forget which one is in which.
No, it is.
But yeah. So as the AIDS thing is going, there'd also be commercials on TV like, "Have you thought about AIDS?" And it would be like, "Doctor, I have an extra 10 pounds ever since I've given birth," and it's like, "You should try AIDS."
Yeah.
Because it's almost like getting the thing to spin on a computer where you have too many apps open. It gets your mind, like perish and perish. You get these words, profit. You get these words that mean contradictory things. Like I just thought of another one today that was like an altered state, like to put something on an altar.
Sure.
Like it's an altar to something. It's a sacrifice. So you get these things contradictory, and then people just submit because it's exhausting. And that's why they like the debt system. Because a lot of people aren't. I've become more optimistic. A lot of people are now getting like red pilled and they think everything sucks. And I'm like, nah, dude, at the end of the road, you realize that all this shit is because most people would choose morality. Like they have to be so exhausted that they're like, I don't know, just tell me what to do.
Well, that's one of the strategies of Satan in Daniel 7 is to wear down the saints. And you look at America, you're like, dude, that's exactly what's happening.
Dude, you don't think like the devil is gonna test Jesus every season? Like showing Jesus the world, like you can have the world. He was going to come back in another season. It wasn't a one and done thing. They try to exhaust you.
Right. Yeah. When he comes out of the fasting in the wilderness.
Yeah. Offers you all the nations can be yours. And it's like, and then that wasn't the last time he's going to do that. He'll do it every single day.
Yeah.
Until you like see what it's fascinating how it works. It's almost like a seduction of a demon. Where it's like, will you go out with me? Come on. You go out. It's almost like a guy like trying to seduce a woman. That's what demons do.
Well, it's funny. I know you, I don't know if you're a C.S. Lewis fan, but I know you've quoted
Oh my God.
You like C.S. Lewis?
Yes.
Did you read the Space Trilogy?
I have not, unfortunately.
So the second one, I don't want to ruin it for you.
No, I don't mind.
Okay.
I'm like borderline autistic. Like, just tell me the whole thing. Like, I'll listen to my favorite song I've heard, 50,000 times. Like, it's better every time. Like, I don't like surprises.
All right, so the second one, I think it's called Pelandria. It's an Adam and Eve story on another planet. And so you know how we think like Adam and Eve, that story with the serpent happened like one afternoon? The serpent's like going after the Eve character for like, I don't know if it's months or years,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
It goes on for so long.
For sure.
And then I'll totally spoil it for you. She doesn't cave in, and there's no need for the Messiah to go to that planet,
Whoa.
right? But so like that story, like it never happens like that on that planet. But it's intriguing because it's like, wow, he went after her just over and over and over.
Starts a blog.
And she's,
You
yeah.
know, it's just like feeding little advertisements. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I loved Magician's Nephew. Have you read that?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God. It's like they go to different worlds and they're little puddles and they put on a ring. And I think it's about vibration, where it's like he's saying that you're going to another planet, like another small plane, like baguette. It's a small bread, you know, a plane-ette. And you just like jump in a little puddle wearing the right ring and you go to another place.
Sounds fun.
Oh, dude, it's so good. It's how Narnia started, and they have Aslan singing it into existence.
Yeah.
Dude.
So you like the Narnia and like the
yeah.
Tolkien, you
Oh,
like
yeah.
Tolkien and C.S. Lewis? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What about the red pill, blue pill? Because you said something intriguing in the book about that too. That like,
Was my line, don't take any pills from a black guy in a trench coat?
yeah, it's very
Yeah.
good about the Matrix. Yeah, it's very good.
False binary. Yeah, because what I'm doing, my dad taught rhetoric. So it's like I'm showing the fallacies in a funny way. That's just a false binary.
But it's the same in the church. Like that's what I keep coming back to the whole way through this book. Is I'm like, dude, this book should have been written by a pastor 10 years ago. Every Christian in America should be reading this book like right now. All of these things apply to see how wicked and evil the world is. Nobody's done a breakdown like this thorough of how the world operates and like exactly how they're putting you under a spell. Because Americans think because they're so materialistic that like, oh, we don't have like spirit realm issues here like we do in other countries. It's like, no, it's everywhere. It's just right under your nose. But this concept of like, you got to pick this or that, right? Like you got to pick like Catholic
Tastes great or less
Protestant.
filling. Yeah, Protestant. Think of the word Protestant and the word Catholic. A Catholic is like, I think it means universal, and Protestant means in protest of.
Yeah.
Like, what do you, of what?
Of that system is
Right.
what
You're
it is.
defined by that. It's like kind of like how a lot of Jews and Catholics will do pit in the pedestal, where it's like, you're the dirty boy, you're the special boy. It's almost like it's like a binary that makes energy.
Yeah, but they do that on all the topics. Like we talked about
All the
predestination.
topics,
Some
yeah.
people are like, well, are you Calvinist or Armenian? Like you got to pick one. It's like, wait, who made the category?
I know, and my brother's so funny. Like he won't ever answer a binary question to the point where it's like hysterical.
Well, that's what we were talking about earlier when I was in rehab. We kind of got off track because of
Sorry,
the
you know
meth.
who always asks you to answer a binary question?
Who?
Michael Malice. And I kind
I
of
told you
enjoy
he
it.
made me sit in a really small chair, right?
Yeah, I mean the guy's kind of like demonic, but like I enjoy the idea of when he's asking you the question, like you can't say neither.
No, he's a clever wizard.
It's but it's a wizard trick.
Oh,
For sure.
of course it's a yeah.
Like you have to choose.
Dude, he
And-
named himself Malice.
Yes.
Like it's like my name is Greg Evil. You know, it's like it's funny. It's like, you know, the Federal Reserve was started by Warburg. Because when they say it, it's like my name's Pornostein. It's like, and if you let them into your home, no, it is that crazy. Like war, porn, right? It's like Warburg, Malice. My name is Michael Malice. Malice is the intent of evil.
Yeah.
And I'm not even against Michael Malice. Like I would, if I saw him, I'd be like, hey man, like it's not like, but he's like a leprechaun.
I don't know him,
He
but you
is
do
a
that with a lot of
leprechaun.
words.
He's a guy. I met him.
He named
and
himself Malice. His real name is like Moneyberg or something.
When I met him, he was like, "You want to take a picture with me?" And
Moneyberg.
I thought about it, and I said,
Goldstein, Silverberg.
"No, I don't want a picture with you. Something about it doesn't ring right. I like you, but no." And like, just keep you. over
Yeah.
there.
You're like, no. He's like, okay, I respect that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be back.
Exactly.
geez.
Yeah, because the funniest thing is if you don't push back on the wizards and leprechauns, there's nothing left to steal.
Right.
You know, like they do, and I think they're there now where they're like, because for so long it's like, okay, we'll take your dick now. It's like, okay. It's like, you're not going to push back? Dude, like I can't make anything myself. I'm a leprechaun.
Yeah. No, this is crazy though. It's like they started I remember the first time I saw a bathroom that had like a boy, a girl, and then a half boy, half girl on it. It was like a long time ago in Seattle by the bubblegum wall, and I just remember being like, What the heck? And I thought that too. I was like, dude, this is the ultimate of saying there's no such thing as reality.
Right.
Like that's
That's what got me so kicked out of stuff is my joke. Caitlyn Jenner was Woman of the Year, hasn't been a woman for a full year. Like I did that the year it happened, 6 years before Dave Chappelle did it on his Netflix special.
Oh, he did. So he
dude,
did a promotion to you. He was like, "Yeah, man, Owen Benjamin."
No, he just took it. And like I did the whole bit of like it started with the L's, and then you get to the like, except he subverted it a little bit because my joke was like, I was showing that there's no honor in the inversion where it started with the L's and they just want a knick-knack in the Subaru and they team up with the G's who are doing some meth and maybe selling some real estate, and then the B's, they'll fuck anybody. And then you get to the T's, they just want to burn the world in reality. And the L's should have just knitted sweaters, right? So I do the whole thing about how it's just a hedonic treadmill down. And he goes, it started with the L's. And I'm like, fuck you. I'm not mad now, though. I promise I'm not mad.
You were just in shock when the first time you saw it?
Well, because I had that bit had gotten millions of views on YouTube, and then my YouTube got deleted. And then Dave Chappelle's special comes out. And he's like, Caitlyn Jenner was Woman of the Year. Hasn't been a woman for a full year. I'm like,
wait, he tweaked it a little bit at least, right?
Yeah, he tweaked it to make it sound good.
He said it black.
Yeah, he was like, so let's all just keep helping each other. It's almost like he did the joke, but then made it not true. Because my whole thing is once you go down a road of transgression, there's no end. Like the L's, probably got abused, just want to kind of braid hair with a lady. But still, it's transgressive to say, like, you can marry a woman, right? And then you get to the G's that are like, a little more extreme. And then the B's will literally fuck anyone. You can't camp with them, right? Where it's almost like anything goes. And then the T's are denying reality itself, but the L's were too.
Yeah.
And so my whole thing is once you go down that road, like, everybody has done a lie to make someone feel better, blah, blah, blah. It's still a lie. It's still like you're still deceiving somebody. And so my point was once you go down that road, it's just gradients of problems. And so Dave was like, did the whole bit and then was like, and we're all in the car together. And I'm like, what? No, but again, it is what it is.
Well, this thing about like making reality not real or making it where there's no such thing as reality. Like the scripture says that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. And so faith comes by hearing and hearing by the word of God. And faith means that you believe the word of God. Like we believe there's a messaging system he gave us. He didn't just say, hey, good luck down there. He couldn't do DVDs because everybody didn't have a DVD player. So he did it like writing, right? He's like, here's a way for you guys to get at me. And faith means,
and on your heart, right? It's written on your heart.
Yeah. And faith
that's big.
Is to believe that the word of God is true. Like this is the story of reality. Like this is not the story of the Christian religion. This is not the story of religion. This is the story of reality.
Right.
And so like as long as they can like say nothing is reality, that's the game, dude.
And then the beauty is, but they're wrong.
Right.
So they just keep getting taught a lesson. And the Old Testament is basically just a series of lessons of people who deny reality.
Well, that's what the New Testament says. It says that like all these things were written, all these things happened to them for our admonition, for examples for us to learn from. But
That's
I guess
exactly
we don't learn, dude, because like in a lot of ways, all the crazy stuff that the covenant people did in the Old Testament, you're watching the covenant people do it today. They're becoming haughty and high-minded, like they're better than everybody else who doesn't know God. And the whole idea was like, no, the Jews were supposed to like say you have 4 kids and you could give a little bit of candy to each one of your kids, or you could give the big bag of candy to one kid and say, give it to the other kids. That's what God did with the nation of Israel. He's like, here, you guys get the bag of candy. Now show everybody who I am. And they're like, no, the candy's ours. Well, the church is doing the same thing, dude. The church is like not reaching the people, not living it, like not living what the
Well, yeah, and they tell lies and they use music. They'll play Coldplay and say bullshit.
Very weird system, dude. It's very
it's because it's money's their god.
Yes. What was the Struthers effect? What did she do?
Oh, well, the Sally Struthers. Well,
because I feel like it's a snapshot of like the church.
Yeah. No, I mean, does anybody remember the Sally Struthers commercials where she'd go out?
Everybody's like way younger.
I know. That's the thing. That's why people should, or Ladle.tv, I have all these like as videos. But yeah, I mean, that could be seen as communal narcissism where it's like, look at me saving the children.
Yeah.
And when you find out what happened, I've like, in the videos, I was trying to call the 1-800 numbers. They're all gone. Sally Struthers almost got kidnapped by a warlord that was obviously just protecting the kids. They just called him a warlord.
Right.
Because they were, I didn't want to make any claims, but they were trafficking.
It's just so cringe, though. It's like, yeah, I'm doing
it doesn't
this
last
super
long term.
holy-
You got to check out Jerry Lewis. Remember Jerry's Kids?
Yeah.
Where he was like saving all the, what was it, muscular dystrophy or some shit?
I don't.
Dude,
I
it was
think
like one of the biggest scams in human history.
Right.
That guy was like a piece of shit, Jerry Lewis.
But that's the play, right? Is like, say this thing that's like so meaningful, that's really going to pull on the strings of your heart. And then, okay, so what's the punchline? You want me to pray to God? You want me to get very close to God about
No,
this?
give me
I'm like,
money.
yeah. It's like, guys, come on. Like, and why is the church falling for this? Like, year after year after year, the money begging thing.
Because they think it's an easy way out, and they think that they're fooling somebody.
Right.
Like I once had a grabbler explaining that if you put like a crying kid in a commercial, you get more money donated.
Uh-huh.
And I remember just being like, bro, that is not, and his life has not gone well. Like it
Sure.
doesn't work long term.
Right.
Because Satan hates his servants. Like Satan, your God does not love you. Like if you agree to do this shit, like, imagine a father giving a kid the candy, but is just looking to see if you're going to be honorable or not.
Yeah.
It's like a test. Like
Sure.
you're not getting away with anything. And I think that's what I love about modern times is people are not getting away with shit anymore like they used to.
More people are just hip to like what's happening.
I think, yeah, it's because like the phones have it's both. It's both. It's not just bad. It's like now people understand adding music, to help with your short video or like editing or all that stuff. Whereas before, when they're showing reels for World War II, where they're like, here come the Japs and blah, 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 send me your kids. They were like, oh, okay. Like they saw a movie and they thought it was reality. They thought it was their memories.
Right.
Like they're putting memories in your head.
Right.
And now people are just like, dude, my kids literally, like they don't have access to the internet or anything, but they'd be like, oh, that's fake.
Yeah.
Because I didn't tell them the moon landing's fake or my thoughts on the Earth or anything. I'm always just like, what do you think it is? And it sounds way more biblical. They're like, it's a light at night.
Right.
Like that's what the moon is. That's what
Right.
I see what it is. It's a light at night.
Right.
And in the Bible it says it's a light to rule the night.
Yeah.
Like, because that's what we see what it is.
Right.
And dude, it is good news. That's the thing is people are afraid. But the news is great. It's like you don't need to struggle and build the Tower of Babel. It's like it's just going to fall down.
It does feel like, I don't know, like if it was the first time I read the book of Revelation would have been like maybe 2000. And I remember thinking like, I hope crazy stuff like this happens that like draws people to a line in the sand and they have to pick. Because it felt like at that time it was like, everybody's just floating along, dude. And I do, like you're saying, it's almost like things are getting better because it's forcing people like, hey, this
see
is
the
very
weeds,
clear
dude. It's
now.
all fucking farming. It's like, so when the things grow, you don't see it when they're little. They're all like little green
Right.
stubs.
It's coming in full maturity, you're saying?
Yeah, that's the weed. That's
Yeah,
the wheat.
yeah. Well, that's an intriguing passage too, because that passage is that the wheat and the tares is that God sows some seeds and then Satan goes in and throws some
Right.
seeds. But it does feel like the evil is growing to full maturity right now. But
100%.
my frustration is, where is the church growing to full maturity
Right
now?
here. Like, look, like what it's supposed to be 2 or 3 and gather in his name.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be local. It's supposed to be your friends, your family. And like, the whispers and rumors of war over the hill, it's like,
Sure.
That's how Satan works. It's like one spell is we, where it's like, why are all us Christians falling for it? It's like, who though?
Right.
He's not, you're not,
Well,
he's Puerto Rican, dude. They're fueled on pineapples and candle wax.
What's a candle wax? I want to
Oh
know.
yeah, you're too young for Ricky Martin. It's like
they call him Ricky Martin in New York.
no, like Ricky Martin, who turned out to be a sodomite, obviously.
Yeah.
He
Didn't see that coming.
His Living the Vida Loca was all about candle wax. Because that's how they introduce kinks and shit to kids at the music industry.
Sure.
Think about how fucking crazy that is, where it's like,
Dude,
dent, and candle wax. Like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's like masochistic bondage shit.
Right.
Like, who the fuck has a wife they love and they're like, I'm going to put hot candle wax on you while we fuck?
Yeah.
Like, dude, I saw that when I was like 10.
Right.
That's nuts.
You do a breakdown on Michael Jackson to the same thing, dude. of how astonishing that is, that like what he was actually saying and what he was presenting to the public, and like that stuff people could be arrested for, but instead you had like billions of people like just repeating the
Dude,
words.
he's just like rubbing his cock
Yeah.
in front of kids. He's like, Shema, Shema. I'm like, dude, arrest him. He's like, Shema, Shema. I'm like, dude, he's jacking it, screaming Shema in front of a bunch of fucking kids, and no one sees it, because I've always just kind of seen it. That's
and
why
that
I
was
became a
just, like,
comedian.
okay.
Dude, in college when I was doing stand-up, I was making fun of modern art. I'm like, it's just a green stripe. You know, like there'd be modern art hanging in
Yeah.
because it turns out it was like a demoralization campaign to get rid of beauty and all that.
Sure.
I always thought, I'm like, why wouldn't anyone just call that out? It's ugly. It's
Well, Top does that in regards to, I don't know if you've seen the Orthodox art that we have here, but
the icons.
yeah, he does that all the time. He's like, that art is designed to like make you depressed. That's not like
It's
beautiful
ugly.
art.
It's ugly. They put a dog on a man's body too.
Very strange.
And they're the ones that get the most pissed at me for saying stuff like, who did Jesus pray to? Because like the Trinity talk is about like, do you fuse with the will of God? It's like an interesting talk. They freak out because of the icon shit, because they're not allowed to draw anything holy. So, and they're constantly drawing and kissing Jesus. So it's like, so they get like angry immediately. They're like, oh no, he's 100% man, 100% God. I'm like, this wouldn't happen to be about your little drawings. You know, because you shouldn't be so pissed.
Wait, yeah, so you just see through when somebody holds to some particular pet doctrine and they have to have
It's a sacred cow.
You're like, okay, I know why you're doing that.
Yeah, because I'm not even making a claim. I'm curious as to how you operate as a man and represent God's will. And I'm like just genuinely like lovingly curious. And it's like, oh, how dare you? I'm like,
some people were mad at me for like I quote you quite a bit
Yeah.
and stuff, and they're like, you know, like what he says about Christianity, right? Like that's why we did the David is King his own.
yeah,
Benjamin
and no,
thing.
and they like try to own Christianity. See the spell?
Well,
It's like that's what he's saying about Christianity, right? It's like, well, what quote did he fucking say?
right.
And they can never quote anything. They go, he said the Trinity's gay. Milo tried to run like a stunt on me for a Trinity, like, what's it called when you like go to an alcoholic or something?
AA meeting?
No, like an intervention.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. And I was like, two guys and a ghost, Milo? Sounds a little gay.
You're a comedian, though. That's
exactly.
Like, yeah.
And I actually avoid religious jokes, but it was like,
You do? I thought you're like anti that, bro. I thought you're like,
No,
yeah,
someone
what if
tells-
Bobby's in the room? You're like, can't make a joke about Bobby.
no, if someone tells me something sacred, the thing that I go after is when someone won't admit they have a sacred cow. Like the icons.
Sure.
Like if someone says like, oh no, this drawing is sacred to me, it's God. I'm like, no problem, you know? But when they're like, no, our religion says explicitly in the commandments that we can't do what we're currently doing, how dare you? I'm like, let's do it.
It's a great song, by the way.
What the how dare you?
Oh,
There's
yeah.
so many of them now.
Yeah, we've
Oh,
used
it's
it a
great.
lot.
It's
Okay, but the Trinity.
No, like I try to live like Jesus. Like I'm like, you know what I mean? I actually love it so much that I don't want to sit and debate a guy in a Hawaiian fucking shirt. I'm literally toiling in the wilderness.
That's the bigger thing. I think that what you're saying in that is like, maybe I do want to hear about the Trinity, but not from that guy.
right.
Yeah,
and I
respect
have
that,
had
but-
some great convos about it.
But that's Christianity is like, I should be living life in such a way that like you would be asking me about life, not to
Yes.
where like I wear
Yes.
some silly robe and a
Exactly.
cape and
It-
come tell you what to think.
Yeah, it shouldn't. If someone claims to be like a big Christian, it shouldn't feel exhausting when they talk about Jesus.
Yeah, or complicated or
Right,
like a
or like
philosopher.
yeah, like and if someone says it's mysterious, that's totally fine. It's when someone's like, no, if you don't fucking agree with me right now, I'm like, it obviously is hard to conceive of, right?
Sure.
So like you can't just get, you know, and then they would like try to make it so no one likes me. They're like, haven't you heard what he said about Jesus? I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I said, who did he pray to? I just don't understand how that
But there's
works.
no complication in that. Okay, so like the Bible, the way it explains the Godhead, it doesn't use the word Trinity, but like the
Yeah,
Godhead.
yeah.
But it's a like we're made of spirit, soul, and body. In the
Yeah.
same way.
No, there's trinities everywhere in nature.
But like you're a human being and you're one person, and I'm a human being and I'm one person. And Top is Puerto Rican and he's one person.
Well, he's 3/5 of a person.
So, but what the Bible teaches, and this is where the mystery's at, is that the Godhead is three different persons but one being. That's what it teaches. So you unpack that however you want. Like,
Right.
that's not you, but just anybody.
Yeah.
But that's how the Bible explains God, is somehow the God being is three persons, and that's why Jesus isn't just praying to the Father. Like, he gets baptized. The Father from heaven says, "This is my beloved Son in whom I'm well pleased," and the Holy Spirit descends. You see, like, all three of them, but those three persons are one being. And so
like,
of course,
where do
that's
we,
complicated.
So where do we fit into? So when Jesus says, like, you will do greater things than me, like, how does that work?
Well, there's a lot of different takes on that, but if
Right.
you read the book of Acts, these dudes are raising people from the dead. And
Right,
they
right,
are
right,
casting
right.
out demons,
Yeah.
and they are healing the sick. Then there's a camp that believes that just means that we can, like, preach the gospel and people be born again, whereas Jesus' day, they weren't being born again yet because he hadn't been resurrected.
Was it
So
Paul that gets stoned and then just
comes
gets
back
up?
to life?
Dude, I got a theory
Yeah.
that sometimes some of the guys that freak out on me about the Trinity, it's because they don't want to live as Jesus taught.
Sure.
Because they would rather be like, no, you just can't, like, you worship him and just leave it, you know?
Yeah.
Because then they don't have to, like, carry the cross,
Right.
right? And
Yeah.
so yeah, it's so funny that you've experienced that too, where it's like, you're going to talk to Owen Benjamin? Don't you know what he said about the Lord? It's like,
Yeah, I'm like, would Jesus not talk to Owen Benjamin? Like look at
Right,
the
right.
life
No,
of
it falls
Jesus.
apart immediately.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, which people, like the people he didn't hang with was the religious institution that claimed to represent him.
and the people that say that, you're always like, show me a list of your friends. You know, like I was talking with somebody about that yesterday because I really like Tucker Carlson, and someone's like, yeah, didn't you know his dad like worked in the CIA? Like, dude, the funniest thing is just go, what did your dad do?
Yeah.
And it's typically just like something horrifying and evil. You know, it's like, oh, he sells insurance. I'm like, oh, he sells fear. He goes door to door and reminds men they'll die and that their savior is money. Yeah. Cool.
Do you know my dad is a postal worker?
Dude, it's
like that.
that's a job.
That's a job.
That's an honorable freaking job, man.
My dad is
my
definitely Puerto Rican.
My dad is like basically a professor at Hogwarts, which I get. Like, and again, I want to ask you about this. Honor thy father. Is it telling the truth about? I think it's telling the truth.
What do you mean? Honor your father?
Yeah,
and
because
mother?
like I'm not gonna lie about my father. You know,
Well, I think it says obey your mother and father and then honor them. So the obeying part is like while you live under their roof.
Right.
And then to honor them, yeah, it has to be based
telling
on
the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, oh, I see what you're saying.
Would that be
Yeah.
the same
Like, is
idea?
this bad what I'm saying? It's like, no, if that story happened, it does
Yeah,
need
yeah,
to be
yeah.
told, and it'll reach people like me because I'm like, yo, I could relate, dude. I went through
Totally.
the same thing.
Do you
yeah,
think?
and I honor the things he did that are good.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the same idea as blessing Israel? Like honor thy mother. Like we're telling the truth. When you're talking about blessing Israel, are we?
Because you want to
telling
bless the Jews, you tell them about their lies.
Yeah, you
That's
tell
what
them
we
the
say.
truth.
What do you do with a guy that smoked meth with his uncle? Do you say, like, this is a great call, here's all our money, let's go fight everybody? No, you fucking say, hey, man, let's get you off that meth.
Yeah, and if you go through the scripture, like, Israel's issue isn't going to be whether we stand with them or not.
Dude,
It's
we're
not gonna make
fueling them now.
But it's not going to make a difference if God is against them. Like,
Right.
as they go bad,
Right.
like, it's like, to me, it's like, just leave them alone, especially if your claim, like we just read it in Ezra, where Ezra's like, we're going to go back and build the temple, but I'm going to ask the king of, what is it, the Persians at that time, or Babylon, for like, soldiers to protect me. What does that look like if I'm like, yo, we're with the God of heaven, the God of everything, but I need your soldiers to protect me? I'm
Exactly.
like, dude, apply that to today. Like, if they really are the people, what do you mean they need
They don't
our
need
money
us.
or our military?
Well, yeah, it's a perfect contradiction is what it is.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, no, we're chosen by God. If you don't bless us, you're fucked. It's like, okay, we're not going to keep giving you money. Then we're going to die.
Yeah, and Top's point is like, yeah, to bless somebody is to tell them the truth.
Dude.
And when they're in the wrong, tell them they're in the wrong.
Because one of the sins that I battle with is actually trying to not allow people to like go through those things, which can be bad for people. Like when you play the savior role,
Yeah.
where you're like, no,
We're going to come in and save you.
yeah, where I'm like, I would get so pissed that wizards are tricking people that I would like really want to like protect them from wizard spells, you know? And it's like, I'm not the savior of mankind. Like that's actually idol work. It's self-idolatry in a way, you know? And a lot
You've
of times,
done a great service to humans by making it this
right, but
plain, though.
no, but this is how to do it properly, where it's like, if you want to read the book, read
How
the
long
book.
has this book been out?
4 months maybe?
You don't promote it at all?
No, I do.
You do?
No, like this isn't trying to say. This is like me doing what I think I'm good at doing.
I know,
well.
but I've never heard you promote your book, though. I'm just asking. Like, you don't ever go out and like promote it?
I tell people they're gay if they don't read it.
That's a good promotion.
It really is, because I'm like, it's the duality of I'm making fun of how modern churches can do that, and like it also is. So it's like funny, but at the same time, it like works kind of.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, listen, if you don't give me money, you're gay.
I like saying stuff like that.
Yeah,
too.
pay your
Top
gay
doesn't
way.
like when I try to get people on Patreon. I'm like, this is a plot for me to get your money. I just want to say that up front.
Dude, it's good. Dude, because someone broke it down to me. I used to be like, I don't want your money. I know you work hard, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, dude, because I could have easily not streamed anymore. I would have become a fucking postman. Literally, I wanted to be a mailman. And they're like, dude, this is my favorite podcast. That would suck if you can't do this for a living.
Right.
Because I was kicked off Patreon. I was in a
Patreon
lawsuit
too?
with- Oh, dude, I was kicked off everything.
Jeez.
No,
Not Airbnb.
Patreon. I was kicked off Airbnb. My wife was kicked off Airbnb, and it was just no, yeah, literally, it was like because obviously the strategy is get rid of his money, like no, because I had a rental, and so it's take away the God we control, which is fiat currency, watch him beg for us, and I didn't.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's your point is like everything that the system tried to do to me, it failed.
Yeah, it failed because like I realized that if I needed them, it was consent.
Right.
So it's like if you're willing to work an honest day, like do construction, work at the hospital, like your kids. It's like you don't need like to need unearned money. Like like a lot of these entertainers are making so much money. It's like, oh, how am I going to pay for my jet? Like after Hollywood, I was
Talking about
making
like pastors and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, dude, so much money. I was making $20 an hour with my brother doing tree work. And it's
And having a blast, probably.
dude, the best.
In Idaho?
No, that was in upstate New York. Because he would do something called Treehab to get people off drugs, where it's like vets had come home like strung out.
That's in the book.
Yeah. And so like they just needed purpose and sweating and stakes. And
Sure.
then they wouldn't do drugs.
Dude, that's how so then I went to work full time when I was 16 after I got off
tell me the
meth.
story. Yeah. So how'd you get off meth?
I was in the rehab. I was in there for 6 weeks.
Did it
dude.
work?
Well, it was in the hood, dude. And I was like in a 6-week program, but everybody else, there was like an 8 to 12 month and 12 to 18 month program. And that was for like criminals, dude, like youth criminals that plea bargained and got rehab. So I met like tons of like legit gangsters. I was just like a valley kid with long hair, eating mushrooms. But then I had all these like gangster connections and stuff. So I got out. I just had tons of dope connections. But when I got out, I was like, okay. So how I went to work was I was on probation then. Right after that, I was still selling.
So how'd
weed.
you get in trouble? Was it selling or just like you were acting up when you were seeing
When I got out of rehab, I was selling weed because I saw Goodfellas in rehab, and I was like, wait, I don't want to be a junkie. I want to like get money and like get my act together. So I was like, dude, I'm already in selling stuff enough to do it, so I'll just start selling weed or whatever. One of the things in the rehab was that like we had a contract and my parents could search my room. So one morning, my mom's like, we're gonna search your room. I had all my stuff organized. I wasn't like a sloppy guy. I had everything.
Yeah, math. You're organized.
One lockbox, right? So
it's organized by like color hue.
Yeah. No, I had it solid organized. But they got in it anyway. They called the cops, dude. The cops came, busted open the lockbox. I get arrested. My mom's like crying while it's like the scene from Blow, dude. When the mom busts the kid, it was like exactly the same thing. So go away, come back, and I'm in jail for like a couple days, which was cool because I was all like kids from the hood. I remember they fed the snake a rat, and the rat was like fighting the snake, like, "Oh, that rat ain't no punk." Like, I was like, "Where am I?"
Dude, I actually get along with like hood rats.
Same, man.
Yeah, and stand up.
it.
Me too.
But so I get home, and so I'm on probation now, and then I'm like, well, I can't keep going to school. So like, because if you miss a class, like you'll violate probation. So I dropped out of school, started doing like homeschool. So my neighbor was a carpet installer. So one time I'm coming home from an NA meeting because I'm court ordered for NA meetings. I see all his tools.
Are you still doing meth at this point?
No. As soon as I got out of the rehab, that was the last.
Was it hard to quit?
Well, I was in rehab by the grace of God, but yeah, I don't know. I put on 40 pounds in rehab.
Yeah.
Because it was 3 hot meals a day, dude. I was like living on the street. I was kicked out of my house. I was like living on the street for that time. But so then I go to my neighbor's house to tell him like, hey man, you should lock up your stuff because my brother busted some kids like stealing tools out of the back, and he's just staring at me, and I'm like, so I like tell him the whole story. Next thing I know, I'm talking for like 5 minutes, and he goes, man, I'm so fucking high right now. You want to come in? Like, he was just staring at me the whole time. So he's like, what do you do, man? I see you out there shooting hoops in your driveway. And I was like, yeah, I'm looking for a job. And he goes, what are you, a bum? And I was like, no, I'm just like a kid.
You're like 16.
Yeah. He's like, so long story short, he goes, you better have your ass in the driveway tomorrow morning at 5. So I went to work full time, like right then.
That's great.
Dude, the work and just grinding and killing yourself, like, saved my life.
Men, dude, it's why men are on drugs.
Yeah. If you're not grinding and working.
Toil maxing.
Yeah.
Dude, it's super biblical. It's all over the Bible, you know? And it's, that's what I think a lot of people are missing. It's just like, get visceral, get in reality, you know?
We talk about it like your boy David, like Samuel gets sent to go anoint the son of Jesse to become king of Israel. They get all the sons there, and Samuel's like, yeah, it's none of these, man. He's like, well, we have one more kid. They're like, he wasn't worthy to, like, come see his brother get anointed. They're like, well, where is he? Oh, he's out in the field working. Like, Elijah is sent to go anoint Elisha as prophet. He finds him in the field working. Like, Jesus comes down to the earth. He doesn't go to the temple and get priests. He doesn't go to the college and get, like, university students. He gets working men. Like,
dude, the best mathematicians are carpenters.
That's a funny thing too. Geometry I couldn't understand in a classroom
because it's bullshit, dude. And then they'll say shit like, "Oh, you're too low IQ." I'm like, dude, my IQ's insane, and I had a physics podcast at Caltech. Want to start that again? I'm like, they're doing Dungeons and Dragons shit.
Yeah.
They're like, well, this imaginary number with dark matter. I'm like, dude, build a table, and they can't build a table.
Yeah. But when I got on the floor and would chalk lines for job sites and stuff, it made perfect sense.
Exactly.
But it's just like in a classroom, I'm like, I have no clue what's happening.
Yeah,
right now.
Jesus being a carpenter makes perfect sense. It's like, that's actual math. That's actual high intelligence.
And he's a working man.
Exactly. I mean, think about what the opposite of working class is. It's so funny how they give themselves away. They're like, oh, the working class. I'm like, so what are you, the parasite class? Like the non-working class?
Yeah, the class that, like, goes into debt for tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to a school for 4 years that maybe you're going to use the stuff, maybe not. Like, name another thing.
It's modern slavery, but that's why I do so many bits about slavery, because they don't even realize they're slaves.
Yeah. I'm like, name another thing you'd invest $80K in, and maybe you're going to use it, maybe not.
Yeah, like 200 grand. You know, my wife went to school for engineering, and when I paid off her student debt when I sold my condo, and I was just like, I've bought my woman back from the Jews. Like, it was as if I, like, liberated her by paying off the slaver.
I paid off my wife's debt too, man.
It's like one of the first things I did. I'm like, you're not going to work for another man, and you're not going to be paying a little Jew money for the rest of my life. We're doing this now.
Yeah. No, I read it in the scripture that, like, two have become one, and my wife's debt, who when I first met her,
right?
Yeah, I was like, sweetie, that's, like, so stupid that you went into debt. Like, that's so dumb. Keep paying your car payment. And then one day I was like, wait, this is my debt.
It's my debt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she did it for a good reason. That's why it's like, I think when people are innocent to things, it doesn't, like, hold on their soul like other people. You know, she was trying to do the right thing. She was raised like, you know, if a guy isn't stable or whatever, I have to be able to provide for myself. She's very intelligent, you know, and then she felt good that I could provide and protect. And she was like, yeah, I don't want to fucking work. You know, I want to work at home.
Yeah. How do you break that down? That it's like the man's job is to, like, bring it home, and the wife is the householder that, like.
Yeah, she is an engineer. I've done videos about it where it's like all these jobs that women want to do, like fashion, chef, you know, Martha Stewart shit. I'm like, dude, they do all of that.
Yes.
Like at the highest level.
Yes.
You know, my wife is doing the most insane cooking and, like, gardening. And she's like, my kids are in jujitsu. She's a fight promoter. You know, it's like, it's like an exciting world.
It's like the coolest job for a chick.
C.S. Lewis, it's the only job. Every other job is to protect mother. Mother is the job. That's not cucky to say that. Like, they make people.
Yeah.
And so that, you know, between 0 and 7, that's very mom. You know, the dad is very important once they start becoming more, like, bigger.
Hitting
you know?
age, yeah.
Like, the man's job is just to protect and provide a stable environment so the woman can, like, make them good people.
Yeah.
You know, we homeschool. You know, she's a teacher. She's an educator. She's a community builder.
Yeah.
It's like the job. And to outsource that to give your authority away where you teach my kid, you clothe my kid, you feed my kid.
Right.
Like, feed him, like, shit that gives you cancer, and I'll pay $1,500 a month so I fucking can take your drugs in 10 years.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and on top of that, it's we're doing all that at the expense of like everything else.
Everything.
Like just so I can have a bigger TV or a bigger
and
car.
it doesn't even work. It's like, so let's say you're making 30 an hour. It's 15 an hour to have someone babysit your kid. How much is it going to cost when you go to a nursing home versus your kids bring you back into the family compound, right?
You
It's
already
like,
told your kids you're not going to a nursing home?
yeah, I would take care of my dad. You know, I think my dad sucks.
Yeah.
It's like, I think that like generational living is how you get out of like the devil's fucking thumb.
Yeah. Like especially if a dad can even give a loan to a kid that's
Exactly.
like only a loan, no interest. It's like how what better way to accumulate like family wealth than to not pay a $200,000 loan that becomes $500,000 to a bank.
I keep trying to tell this to the youth without sounding like a boomer because the prices are
Todd gets
nuts.
mad about it, dude. He's like, no, it's way harder now. I'm like, well, okay.
No, but the blessing is that people can now see what wealth really is. It's not these tinder boxes because they are designed to literally burn.
The houses?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you go to parts of Europe. I used to live in the Czech Republic. You go to Spain.
You did?
Yeah. And so it's like you'll see these houses and they just kind of are like Dr. Seuss houses.
Yes.
Because everyone's building on the same house. If you can't afford to move 1,000 miles away and live alone in a fucking 2-bedroom condo so you can go to a gay bar and Whole Foods, maybe there's some benefits to that.
Yeah.
We're like, you know, I remember as a kid, people would carpool because gas was expensive.
Sure.
And you needed your neighbor. You needed friendships. You needed long-term relationships.
Or maybe you only had one car with two parents.
Dude, my parents only had one car.
Yeah.
You know, my parents' house is right now worth $110,000 total. Like, live in Oswego if you want a cheap house. Oh, you want to be next to a gay bar.
And a Whole Foods.
And a Whole Foods.
Hold on, let me clarify this. I'm not saying that boomers owe us anything, but what I did say, and he keeps misunderstanding, is that
Got him.
what we owe our children is to not burn the bridge after we've crossed it or close the door.
Oh, yeah,
once
yeah.
we're
No,
in
the
the
boomers
room.
are...
You don't do that.
Right.
So that, and if it's owing or not, it's just like what you've done was wrong there, and you're going to be paid for what you did, and I'm just going to watch
No,
it.
100%. But it's like, yeah, like the boomers are keeping their wealth and burning it and being like, fuck you, I went to the moon. I totally get that. But it's not wealth. It's
Yeah.
currency.
Right.
Like, it's almost like they're Pokemon cards. You know what I mean? It's like they're literally... There's always a divine joke. What, is this because I'm an 8th Jew? You're fucking giving me the coins?
Are you? No,
Ever
I'm
since
just-
you put ribs on it, I've been really pissed off.
No,
about
I
that.
mean, speaking of currency as opposed to money.
Right. This
like, you
isn't
see
real.
any-
This is zinc bullshit.
You sure about that?
Dude, that's why it's called sound money. I can tell by the sound. Fact, that's the sound of bullshit.
That's silver.
No!
Got him.
Hang on.
Got him. Got him.
Fuck.
Check
Are you
your ears.
sure?
You didn't think I was gonna bring real silver? You thought I brought like
Dude,
a
I'm keeping
modern?
this shit. Dude,
You
I'm
could have 'em.
I'm such a cocky cunt.
You could
It's
have.
only 45% silver though, but
I didn't see that coming. I thought you were
I
gonna
was
know
so
right
wrong
away.
about the sound. It felt like shit. Man,
just
but
so
unlike
unusual.
unlike Andrew Wilson, I'll own the embarrassment. I was wrong about
No,
that.
that's like your thing, dude. I read a thing on the
I'm gonna
Jekyll
blame it
Island.
on one headphone. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you're right.
I fucked
And
up.
top.
I fucked up bad.
It's the bad
It's
microphone.
the 7/8 in me, man.
Jekyll Island I read about 15 years ago, but I didn't
64.
really get it that like the answer was gold and silver. Like I
Yeah,
didn't.
because you can't print it out. It's not imaginary. You
Right.
need men to go into a mine.
And that's why like world banks and nation states today are just accumulating tons of gold. Tons of gold.
Yeah.
Tons of gold.
Gold and silver is crushing.
Yeah, but like common people are just like, oh, that's ridiculous. I'm buying, Bitcoin or Tesla or whatever.
I know, but it's like there's so much sin in the Bitcoin game. It's like because they want to get more dollars, and then
Don't-
they brag about it.
Don't you say that's like the ultimate if dollars that are made from a
Dollars-
money machine
right.
is like so fake, Bitcoin is like the most fake, even
It's
beyond
it's
dollars.
taking the fake dollar and making it 1,000 times faker.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a ledger that everyone can track every transaction of all time. Because at least like a dollar, like currency, you can still hold in reality.
But I think there's something to it that we're gonna be using some kind of coin, like some kind of blockchain, some kind of
But
at
who's
a
we?
register.
Who's we?
Good point. Yeah, if you're just trading with people and you're like,
Yeah, and there's always going to be a massive like rebellion to that. They need I think that it'll start with welfare. Like if you get, it's always, dude, it's always free cheese for the mousetrap. It's like, it's something for nothing. So it's like, if you want free shit, it's going to be this psychotic thing. And so it's just about people not using it if they don't want it. But if they want it, that's the free will trap, you know?
Well, the free cheese in the trap thing is kind of the key to the book, dude, is like the wizard only gets you if he has something you want.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't have something you want and like you're good, you're not going to get got by the wizard.
Yeah, it's something you want from him.
What is it?
No, something for nothing. You want you want ease, you want comfort. You want
Right.
you know, it's hard to mail silver.
Right.
You know, to hold it in your pocket and shit. Like, look at how what just happened with me was ego, where I'm like, fuck this. This sounds like shit. And it was silver. Right? So like that's how you keep yourself in check. Like everyone just got to witness me with my arrogance. I was about to reject silver because I was like, fuck this. Right?
I should have told you ahead of time.
No,
Now
no,
I
no.
feel bad.
It's a beautiful thing. Like it's constant. So my ego almost like made it so I didn't like recognize something as actually valuable.
Well, probably it's
Because
like
I'm the special boy that knows, right?
well, it's like you never see it. Like you never see
right, and I was
silver
wrong.
anymore.
And that's the key is being able. That's why my slogan, I might be wrong, but I'm not lying. It's
Yeah.
like at this moment is when someone that's accepted more wickedness would be like, well, I could have known. You fucking tried to trick me, right? And it's like, no. What did I just learn about myself? Like I literally treated something that was more valuable because in my mind I'm like, I can tell the sound.
I love that sound too. Okay, so a profound thing that gets said where Jesus is going to the cross, he says, the prince of this world's coming for me, but he has nothing in me, right? Like the Satan's coming for him, but
Right.
there's nothing for him to get a hook in.
Right,
There's
right,
nothing there, man, which is like we want to be like that. And that's what I'm saying is like this book touches on so many biblical concepts and it's explained in such a plain way that every reader could understand how to apply this to their life like today.
So why wouldn't someone explain it plainly? It's like
I think the guys that go through the cemetery school system, there's got to be something. Well, I think it's wizards in that system.
yeah, like what would be the simple reason like why they wouldn't say it simply?
Well, the plainest thing is they don't understand it. Like that's step one. Is
yeah, and if they explain it, they don't get free money.
Yeah, and they've built these giant institutions
Right.
that require tons of money for a system that biblically doesn't require this money. It's like you're
Right.
meeting in homes. You have a Bible study with 10 people. My buddy, I was in a Bible study the other day, was saying Phil Robertson explained it like this. Like you have a Bible study, you and your buddy, it gets up to about 10 people. Once you have 10 people in your home doing a Bible study, 2 of them go away and start their own Bible study.
That's genius.
Those guys get to 10, they break away and do a Bible study. This whole thing of taking people's money, like in the church in the book of Acts, like they're taking money. People are selling their own land, selling their own houses, bringing it to the apostles to distribute to the poor. Now they'll take money from the poor to buy land and build buildings.
Dude, it's exactly.
It's exact opposite.
That's why, like, and I think tithing and getting money and shit should always be for a specific thing for the benefit of the group.
But like, what's their thing? It's salary.
No, exactly. That's why they got so pissed at Bertaria. I'm like, if we all chip in $400, I can buy land where we have unvaccinated cattle and do 2 festivals a year.
Brilliant.
Right? And so and then I put my own money into it. I didn't make a fucking dollar on anything. And the shills flipped out because
Yeah.
their whole thing is just give me money for the Lord. And they're
Yeah.
in fucking private planes and shit.
Do you ever watch Nathan Apfel, Religion Business?
Oh yeah, he was on Tucker.
He was
right?
on Tucker
Yeah,
around the
yeah,
same time
yeah.
as you. Bro, that guy does a great deep
He
dive.
gets it.
He gets
it.
in, he gets receipts. Like, it's
'Cause
not
they don't have
just
to pay taxes
hearsay.
or anything.
It's madness,
No,
bro.
and that's the irony. Is
and
like,
he's saying, I just want clarity. He's like, whatever you guys are doing, it's fine. But just
clarity
show
is
us.
from the devil. Clarity? What are you, a candy cult, Candace Owens?
Yeah.
No, they're like, it's nonsense. And the irony is like, what I do functions more like how I think a church should be, but I would never call myself a church because I'm not like theologically like a comedian, like a holy fool type archetype can't really be I would never call myself that and be a comedian because I like poke at shit. It's just not my role. And I pay taxes and all that shit. It's like the people that say they're churches and don't pay taxes are nothing like a church should be.
Right. What do you think the world says when they're like, oh, I have to pay taxes, but you don't. You guys hold the secrets to the mysteries of the universe, but you won't even pay taxes. And even though your God said it a couple of times, like give to Caesar
Render,
what's Caesar's, and the other time he tells Peter, go catch the fish and pull the coin out and go pay the taxes for us. And now you guys don't pay taxes and you call a thing a not-for-profit, which is a little deceptive too, because you guys are all making salaries.
Well, it's not for a different profit.
Yeah, exactly. It means just you have to spend all the
not
money.
for the profits.
Exactly. So it's very like, I don't know.
It's all word games.
So I'm frustrated, like the state of the modern American 501c3 system. And then I read a book like this and I'm saying like, why didn't like a pastor produce this?
Because they didn't earn it.
Yeah, but you're closer to like what's really happening on planet Earth today. And you see through everything like more than the average pastor.
I didn't see through the quarter.
You're going to like not forget that.
No, but it's like, the only reason I'm hitting that is because I want people to see that it's constant and it's everyone.
You don't want me to gas you up too much. You're like bringing it down a couple.
No,
notches.
I'm very talented at what I do. No, like for real. Because I also think it's kind of weird when people pretend they aren't good at shit. Like if I was like, no, I'm not funny.
Humility. That
book sucks. Like that's lying too. You know. But like I think because some of those guys might have been real talented and they fucking thought they could hear the quarter and just wrote it out. Like every day there's a moment when it's like the devil's like, you want to become an asshole?
Yeah.
And then
here's an easy path.
Here's an easy path. It's like, oh, you're going to feel embarrassed because he loves your book and you're a piano player and you should know sound. And it's like, yeah, but we can all just learn in that moment, or I can fucking hold myself up like I'm something I'm not. That's everyone every day.
Yeah.
And then some of the people most susceptible are really good at shit and they start with good intentions. And then they're like, that's why I like the Muslim thing that they do where they're always like, all praise to God, all praise to God. Like they're always discharging the compliment because it is easy to start, because I get handwritten letters. You're the reason I have a family. I have more kids because of you. I got a farm because of you. And it's always all praise to God. Because as soon as you accept that, where it's like, you have a child because of my podcast. Then you're almost to the fucking private plane.
But that's just true Christianity. It's like I'm just a vessel. I'm just an ambassador.
Right, exactly.
Like, I'm just a dude that's benefited from this. I'm living it. You're benefiting from that. Praise God.
Exactly,
Use me in that process.
But see, you understand it so well. It's like a fish not knowing it's wet. Sometimes they start, because a lot of people in public with the big audience, there's something wrong with them, you know, myself included. For me, it wasn't as much emptiness as some other people because it was a craft and I thought my dad would appreciate it, you know?
Yeah.
Like I don't need big applause. I can be alone in a room, like, and literally feel totally happy.
Same, or on
like
a farm.
Dude, I'm very comfortable with that. But some of these dudes, like the I am starts fucking with them, you know? That's why I am's a burden. Like I am the pastor, I am the, you know, they start getting big.
And I have too.
Right. It's like, what will people think? What will my wife think? And I felt this too. You know, I've had major financial problems where it's like, what if I lose the house? What if I do this? Like, and my wife was like, we'll just live in a little place. We lived in a barn, you know, because sometimes guys forget that people genuinely love us.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, and guys will start becoming super evil to keep that image, and the people don't even give a shit.
What do you mean that your wife would be like, no, I love you? If we
and we've had these conversations.
I love you.
Yeah, because I've actually had the meltdowns.
Yeah.
When she met me, I was on a sitcom making $30,000 a week, and then I'm hauling brush, making $20 an hour online. People are calling me everything.
That's freaking awesome, dude.
It made us closer.
Yeah.
But see, like I know that whisper of like, what's she gonna think of me? Like, it's for my children. It's like, well. Many times, like, being raised with nothing is better for kids.
A bunch of evil comes from that like, oh, I'm just trying to give my kids what I didn't have. Like
totally,
that.
but it all comes from God. That's why the discipline of, like, it's all God. You know, we're like, you're not, and you see these rich guys and their kids are fucked.
Right.
Because they thought, like, oh, you know, I got to play ball or else little Tommy doesn't go to the best schools where he's getting molested and getting on drugs. You know, it's like, you can't outthink that's why I love God's world, because it's like, it's so simple. And if you just let it happen, it's awesome.
But the wizardry has just trapped everybody into getting them away from the like you get your food from a grocery store, from a drive-thru. You don't get it from the earth. Like, let's make this.
But I don't mind my silver though.
That's true. That's not too bad though.
My grandfather was a miner. He would have called me a fag.
Yeah.
He used to
Yeah.
mine lead. He used to, like, when he quit drinking, he
In
saw
upstate New
serpents.
York?
No, Wisconsin.
So the grandpa was Wisconsin, and
Yeah,
then,
my mom's side is like salt of the earth. You know,
Yeah.
they'd hunted for their food.
Dude, thank you for bringing that up. Sparrow Nose Bear would have been pissed if I didn't bring this
She
up.
actually just commented that.
Can you elaborate on the Lot's wife turns into a pillar of salt a little bit? You got that on the top of your head?
So I was, you know, just going through some like some grief and some, you know, stress with the, you know, extended family back home and all that stuff. And me and Amy got in a little bit of an argument because, you know, I can toil max a little hard and plant too many trees or like make, you know, have a construction site when there's a birthday party or something, you know. And I was getting really agitated, and I realized I needed to sweat, you know, and I didn't need to talk about anything, you know. It's not like, you know, it should be like, if you want to talk about what's going on with your dad, I'm like, I get it though.
Yeah.
Like I don't need any insights. Talking doesn't really help. And then I almost felt like I needed to like weep or sweat. And I was like, it's fucking salt, right? And so like, imagine Lot's wife, you know, looking back where you are from is almost like the prison of nostalgia. Like, you know, because Sodom and Gomorrah must have been a good time for a while where it's like, remember? And then that grief and then the salt builds up. Like the idea of being turned to salt. I just had this this intense feeling of like I understood what that meant, where it's almost like our bodies are shedding tears when we're like feel a lot. Like it's almost like the electricity of emotion and life. And so I needed to sweat like I needed water, you know? And I'm like, what if you turn to salt? Like,
And you think she felt so much in that moment.
yeah,
that
yeah,
salt
yeah.
just,
Yeah, like just became salt. And I don't know to what extent that is, but like that teaching at that point, I was like, holy shit. She looked back at where she had been, like, you know, not like going with the flow, the Holy Spirit, right? It's like, that is over, you know, there's a lot of sodomizing going on. It got pretty dark, but it's like, you look back trying to live in the past, the grief, you know, the prison of nostalgia, exile, like all those feelings.
well, some of us think too, she had kids still there too. Like that was a part of it too, where we're like, you better teach your kids. You better teach your kids because like it's sooner or later, you're going to run out of time, man. If your kids don't know God, you might be looking back at the kids too.
Oh, man.
But no matter what it was, I think that still goes with your point that like that's so much in us that just welled up so much emotion in her that it just turned her completely to salt. And the angel didn't explain that to her, but just said like, don't look back.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Greek or the story of, I always forget their names, but there was one about a couple leaving Hades and she was told, don't look back and you can get out. And she looked back and she was kept in
Stuck
hell.
there. Yeah, I don't know that one.
I don't either. It's like Persephone. I don't know. I always forget the names, but it's like, it seems like it's one of those things that people have felt for a long time where like when you look back, like when you exiled, I think Socrates or somebody who I think was a pervert, but it's like when you look like the prison of nostalgia.
Wait, really? Socrates? I don't know
yeah.
much about him, but some of the OG writers talk about him. Like Alexander White will talk about
Yeah,
Socrates.
no, he's like, you know,
and
the
his good
Socratic
demon.
method.
He had a good demon. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, but that sounds funny.
Yeah, like something that would counsel Socrates. And then, so I was like, yo, is he talking about the Holy Spirit? But Alexander White was like a great Scottish preacher, like a real one, probably 1800s, maybe early 1900s, was... I think he was making the point that it was conscience because like in John 1:9, it says that Jesus is the light that lights every man that comes into the world. That doesn't mean born again, but every man has a light that's been lit by Jesus, right? So like you have this conscience and you know, like even in Romans 1 where it starts talking about that like you'll look at the known world and know that there's a God. Like if you look at that world and say there's no God, you're going to be held accountable for that. Like if you look at all that, you say, oh, it's evolution. It came by chance. You don't get away with that. Like everybody has this
especially if
conscience.
you've seen a moment that is undeniable.
Yeah,
Because you can be asleep, you can be innocently asleep, in my opinion.
sure.
And then there's a moment, and you feel it a lot. Like it never stops. There's a moment where you're like, I can't deny I just saw that.
Right.
And that's when I think you start getting judged.
Yeah, if you don't respond, then
If you have a
sure.
child, you're gonna see abortion differently.
Right.
You know, there's just no, because you can innocently not understand how much that is a living life unless you've been around a pregnant woman, you know?
Right.
It's like, think about all the topics that people talk about that we don't really fully understand. And then there's a moment where you see like a little hand and a little eyeball, and you're like, did retarded monkeys fuck an eyeball into existence? Like, it just makes no sense. And then the ego, the I am, where it's just like, where it's like, but I'm smart though, so I've been wrong all these years. So because I used to like make fun of people that would not believe in evolution. I'm like, well, obviously. And then once you see it, you're like, oh, that's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, that is like retarded now that I think about it. Like, how can you sexually select into an eyeball? Like, for a little while, you just have a hole that kind of sees a shadow.
Yeah.
Like, that gets you more pussy. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, that's like one of the things that I think demons, when they got together, they're like, dude, you want to pull a fast one on these idiots?
Dude, they're fucking
tell 'em-
comedians, man.
Yeah, we'll
they
tell
are.
them this thing called evolution. They're like, watch, we'll get them to
And
believe
they always
it, man.
name somebody that's a dick or something, you know? It's like the CEO of Blue Origin, because I think a lot of the space stuff is total demon joke, funny stuff.
Right.
His
What do you
name's
mean? You don't
Dave
think
Limp.
space is real?
His name's Dave Limp.
No.
Bro, the CEO of Blue Origin that is a giant penis is named Dave Limp.
It's ironic.
Well, it's a demonic joke. They're like, dude, call her Ellen Degenerate.
Right.
Right? It's like so obvious.
What are
know?
some of the other names? I feel like some of
like
those are in
Magical
here.
Johnson?
Yeah, that's a wild one.
Yeah,
too,
Greg
man.
Louganis.
Yeah, just right under our nose, man.
Dude, it's constant, bro.
Louganis is the one who hit his head diving, right?
So who did Epstein work with? It was William Barr. Remember, he was the guy that hired him at his first school, the attorney guy.
I don't know
Yeah.
a lot about.
Dude, Epstein Barr is herpes.
It's very ironic. Man.
No, it's like hilarious. It's like, oh, William Barr and Jeffrey Epstein. I'm like, you guys know Epstein Barr is the name of the herpes virus.
So what is that? What is that? Because
It's kind of like proof of another layer of reality, because there's no way you can write a joke that takes like 70 years.
Okay, that I wanted to get into that, dude. So like the Kennedy Lincoln connection,
Dude, that's insane.
right? Do you want? Can I read the whole thing?
Yeah, read the connection between Kennedy
Because
and Lincoln. Yeah.
it's in chapter 7. I know that, which is actually the Zoolander chapter.
Because it gets to a point where the truther, if you're too secular, that's when you start being like, there's no way that, then that's when you get to like, everything's fake, everyone's an actor. And it's like, and so like everything's fake, everyone's an actor, but like, there's no way that everything's fake and everyone's an actor, unless actor just means insincere. But like, I think that people really die and get assassinated. I've like known people that have been shot to death. It's like, that happens, you know? So yeah, read the Kennedy Lincoln synchronicity. It's nuts.
Okay, John Wilkes Booth was the most famous actor in America when he assassinated Abraham Lincoln, not just some actor. Once we do this, can we wrap up? Should we wrap up?
It's your no, I'm just letting you know soon.
Okay, you got it. How long have we been on? Like
I
half hour?
don't mind. I just saw. I was just checking my.
Is a half hour too long?
Dude, no, we're crushing.
He's not really
You
a
are,
podcaster.
man.
We can have a hard out. Like, do you have a hard out?
No, I just want to.
Just want to let him know that
No,
he
yeah,
might be a little gay.
Well, I don't have the I don't have the time up there, so I have no clue how long we've been
An
on.
hour 40, but go ahead. Do you think?
What?
Just roll with it, bro.
All right,
Flow
yeah,
state.
we're going to the food forest after this too.
Let's do it.
All right, John Wilkes Booth was the most famous actor in America when he assassinated Abraham Lincoln. Not just some actor, the biggest, the
Right.
Tom Cruise of his era.
Yeah.
And he was a member of the Knights of the Golden Circle. This is intriguing. A secret society founded in 1854 with the objective of creating a new slaveholding country centered on Havana, Cuba, encompassing the southern United States, Mexico, Central America, the Caribbean, and northern South America.
All historical fact, by the way.
Yeah, you never hear about this. The KGC's crescent was the Gulf of Mexico, and the Lone Star was Lucifer, the morning star, the light bringer, which is why Texas is the Lone Star state, and which is why that symbol shows up on flags across the Islamic world alongside the crescent. All right, here we go. Booth worked at Ford's Theater, had his mail sent there, shot Lincoln in the head, fell off the balcony, broke his leg, and ran. When they caught the man in a tobacco barn and shot him, the coroner noted that the body had the wrong broken leg. It's pretty obvious, in my opinion, that Booth got away. Back then, it was easy to start over, especially if you were in a powerful network of conspirators. The president, before Kennedy, was in the same Masonic lodge. And then there are the Lincoln-Kennedy synchronicities, which are either the most elaborate conspiracy in history or evidence of something beyond human design. This is how we opened up with the Kanye thing. So, like, this is an intriguing topic. Lincoln and Kennedy, both 7 letters, both elected to Congress in 46. To the
Yeah, and that's big,
presidency.
by the way. Congress, not senator, not governor.
Yeah, that's the path they took to presidency.
Yeah, it's very rare.
And that they both did it in 46.
In 46, yeah.
Presidency in 60. Both assassins born in 39. Both known by 3 names totaling 15 letters.
Yeah, and just think about what you've already said is nuts. So,
Yeah.
like, elected the same year, their assassins were born in the same year. Just everything's 100 years apart.
Wild.
It gets even crazier.
Booth ran from a theater and was caught in a warehouse. Oswald ran from a warehouse and was caught in a theater. Both assassins were Southern. Both successors were Democrats named Johnson.
Literally, Lincoln to Johnson, Kennedy to Johnson. And Johnson is a penis.
That's a key factor in this, too, to Johnson.
Yeah, because they are phallically obsessed, like fact.
Yeah, I mean,
I know it's funny when I point out the Ween stuff, but a lot of it is literally like dick
that's
worship.
what the obelisk is, though.
Dude, that's
like
what
the Washington
yeah,
Monument.
it's Osiris's cock. They're like
Yeah.
obsessed with it. Yeah,
And we decorate the country with it.
just
We're
cocks
like, yeah, it's
everywhere.
cool.
Yeah,
Both assassins were Southern. Democrats named Johnson with 6-letter first names, both born in 08. Both presidents were shot in the head on a Friday in the presence of their wives. Lincoln had a secretary named Kennedy who warned him not to go to Ford's Theater. Kennedy had a secretary named Lincoln
who warned
him not to go to Dallas. Both assassins were killed before trial. A lot of people see this and say Illuminati. I see it and say maybe God. Why can't synchronicity be divine? Why does everything strange have to be attributed to a shadowy cabal?
Exactly.
I've experienced synchronicities in my own life that have basically 0 odds. Sometimes these things just happen, and sometimes the pattern is there to show you something about the nature of reality, not to terrify you.
Yes. Yeah, because sometimes I think truthers can elevate people above God, where it's like that their plans and plots and schemes are that grand. Where 100 years apart, these things can operate like that. You know, and it's
Right.
like, well, what is authority comes from the word author. So who is the ultimate author? And they'll think like George Soros. I'm like, you don't
Right.
realize you're secular.
Right, because it's like, well, who's
writing George Soros?
Who's behind Nancy Pelosi?
Right,
It's like
exactly.
George Soros. Okay, well, who's behind George Soros? Like,
Right.
you got to keep going, but you're saying ultimately you get to the unseen realm.
Yeah, you see like the allowed dark author to tempt you, and then the grand author that allows that author. Like God is above the dark author, right? And is allowed to like give everyone candy and see if you hand it out, like because the tempter is still working for the grand author, and then the grand author is like these things that happen, it's like the coffee shop, and then you're here at the coffee shop. Like these things, like they'll call you, like they say coincidence is like a derogatory word. It's like conspiracy theorist. It's like, well, do conspiracies exist? Can I theorize about them? How is that bad? Coincident. Like that doesn't mean it's not interesting.
Mm-hmm.
A coincident. And so like when you see some of these things, I went through a phase where I was like, oh, fuck it. Archduke Ferdinand's license plate says the day that they were going to stop World War I. It says armistice. It says A, and it says 11/11/18.
Mm-hmm.
And so the start of World War I, the car that he was shot in, is the day that World War I ends, 11/11/18. And so you think like, oh, those crafty Jews. And then you're like, how... I've been around the top, like the head of Warner Brothers and shit. Like they're not thinking that far ahead. They're trying to get like head from an intern because they have irritable bowel syndrome. They're fucking nuts. So it's like, who wrote that? And that's why it's like you have the devil's comedy is like to humiliate and shame and say you've gone too far. There's no turning back. Like you will never be forgiven, right? Like that's so the voice for people like, well, you weigh 300 pounds. There's no turning back. Like, you're just going to be a fat fuck. Right. And so, like, morally, people feel that way where it's like, everything I've done, there's no forgiveness for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's the path you just keep going, whereas every step you can turn. And so it's about humiliating and breaking the man because you have Satan is envious of the because of our role here. And then you have the grand comedy.
Satan is envious of mankind.
Man,
because of our role,
yeah. And then you have the satanic comedian is like, look at how stupid they are, God. Like that's his whole shtick.
Yeah.
Look how fucking dumb they are. And then you have God's plan where it's that genuine laughter when you realize the joke was on you being a control freak, Where you're like, oh, dude, it was right here all along. It's like Toto. Oh, the wizard's right behind the fucking curtain.
So ultimately, you look at like all of this play, if you will, this Truman Show that we're all living in is clearly puppeteered from the unseen realm. But like there's the levels to it, and ultimately none of it is catching God by surprise.
Exactly.
Like, he knows what's coming.
Yeah, and it leads me to believe that at death, it's good news, because it's like,
Sure.
because all of these signs say that. And so imagine, so what are the great tragedies of life? The death of a child, the death of a loved one, stuff like that. Imagine if their soul isn't actually dead. So it's like, that would be a relief in a funny way, where it's like, can you believe how much time we spent fighting death? You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a funny joke in a good way.
Well, the last episode of Straight Bible on Tuesday was don't lay up treasure on earth, but do lay up treasure in heaven.
Yeah.
And like the silliness that we're all going to feel when in a moment, all the stuff that we were thinking about and storing up and accumulating on the earth and even just spend our time thinking about
It's
in a
pointless.
moment means nothing.
Yeah, it's like,
but it doesn't
imagine
come
if
to
right
us-
now I'm refreshing an NFT account being like, this is all my money. Like, it's so stupid,
Yeah.
right?
And in a moment, it's not like it goes to zero, to your point. Like our spirit's going to last
Right,
forever.
right,
So
right.
like in a moment, it's not like, oh, we just go to sleep. No, we go into this realm forever now. Like we go into that realm forever. And all of this stuff didn't matter. There was stuff, like that's what we were getting into in the study, was like, what are those things you can be storing up for eternity, that you can be storing up for heaven that do matter? But in a moment, all of that stuff that we were storing up for the time realm will mean nothing.
Imagine like holding a bunch of resentment and caring a lot about the whack-a-mole moles. Where you're like, those fucking moles, man. I didn't hit that one mole. Like, imagine like your whole life is like, he was mocking me when he popped out of the little hole and I missed him and I fucked that whack-a-mole, right? And then it's like, dude, it's a puppet. And then you can either get really pissed off or be like, oh, that's hilarious. I think that's everything.
Yeah.
But like the moments that you spent with like your loved one with the whack-a-mole, like that's actually the treasure.
Yeah.
Like, imagine, like, your whole life is, like, needing revenge for that fucking mole. Like, he popped up to mock me. What, he thinks I'm gay? It's like, that's retarded. But, like, money is that stupid. And then people are like, oh, must be nice. You fucking with all your fruit. I'm like, dude, it comes from a tree for free. Like, that's the funniest fucking part.
Yeah.
Dude, there was this one slave named Charles Smith that was on the news when the moon landing happened from Florida, and he was hilarious. He saw right through. He's like, ain't no one going to the moon. He was like 100 years old, and he said the way they got him on the slave ship is they said that we had trees that had pancakes. He was like, I was playing with my mom as a little boy. He's like, they said they had pancake trees, and he was like, so they all like wanted to get on. They were like fighting to get on the ship. They're like, pancake trees. That's the trick.
Yeah.
Like, how do they think white dudes went into the dark continent and like got people? It had to be a trick
Sure.
to be like,
A wizard trick.
oh yeah, imagine you just have poofy pants. You're like a fucking Brit. You know, you're not catching slaves.
Right.
You have to be like,
Some of the most athletic people on the planet.
yeah,
like
there's malaria everywhere. Like, they're not even going past the shoreline.
They had to consent.
They had to not only consent, they had to like want it.
Yeah.
And look around right now, and one of the biggest spells is like it isn't right now too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the abortion clinic looking like a fucking pagan, temple for sacrifice. It's like the same structure.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, like priest outfits, like all this stuff. You're like, dude, it's the same thing.
Yeah, that's what we see all the time. Is like these patterns don't ever change. Like, why would the unseen realm change anything if they've been like
It's just a
crushing
rebrand.
humans for thousands of years? Like, why would they? They don't need to change.
Yeah,
anything.
these
They
homos
know-
bought some kids. Oh no, how dare you? Oh, adopt.
That's
how
a good
much,
part of the book,
How much
too.
did it cost to adopt the kids?
Yeah. Right. No,
Right?
that's a great part of the book. I read it to my family, dude. Even my daughter was like, "Yo, this." She's like, "What book is
Yeah.
that?" I was like, "Sweetie, you can read it when I'm done."
When you realize we live in a more fucked up time than slavery, and everyone's bragging about that, it's like, so you'd rather kill them than let them work?
That's an intriguing thing you
It's
get
an
into, bro.
I mean, it's mind blowing when people think about it. It's like,
You're like, no, who says it's? I'll debate anybody. Who says it's better to kill them?
to kill a baby. Like, you have a fully functional, healthy, living baby that you will abort and sell the parts to Hollywood elites to look younger. Or you could let them work and have a family and live a life. And because people will then equate like, oh, to abuse, it's like, No, like you're a slave right now and you don't even know with your fucking social security number and all that. I'm like, you don't even know where you were at.
Yeah.
No, you put him in a cube and feed him fucking Monsanto shit is way worse than Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah, dude, that's super offensive, but super true.
It's super true.
Like, what are you gonna do
Dude,
with
the
that?
funniest thing is the black dudes, when they realize, they totally, they're like, so you'd rather kill us than, because the white savior liberal types, they get really offensive when they're like,
Yeah.
what kind of life would they have though? If they, it's like, dude, my ancestors were fucking slaves. It's like they were called indentured servitude. Does that make you feel better? I'm not saying to abuse anybody, but like,
Sure.
owing labor. Can you imagine working with Thomas Jefferson, the shit that he knew? You know, I would have loved to work as a slave on a shelter.
Like in the guild system.
Dude, read the Bible. It's like you have to eat the same food they have. You're not allowed to be murdered. You can't murder a slave.
Right. Slavery has a very like making them less than human. Is
They don't make
something
them less than
totally
human.
different than like actual biblical slavery.
Yeah, there was chattel, and the irony is the first guy in America to actually like own a person racially was a black guy.
Sure. And did he own an American Indian? Because
No, it was another black guy.
Okay.
And dude, well, I got theories about what black. You know, I think there's a lot of indigenous black people here.
That's who was originally here.
I think there was definitely some, like Mississippi Delta.
I
shit
think
like
I've
that.
seen that. I think I've seen some studies on that, and it looks pretty convincing.
It's like a black truther thing, but like I've hung out with some of those guys. Like, no, it's so funny. Like some of I sign off on some of the black truther shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that. Like
that.
They were here originally.
I don't think they all came on ships. I think there was. I mean, if you look at the weather in Mississippi, you know, if we come from dirt, like we're animated from the clay.
Yeah.
What color is the fucking clay down there?
Sure. That's an interesting point.
Yeah, that's why I live up north. I feel like my race is good with the cold.
Yeah, so you're not going to get a Florida house? I thought like part of this trip and you were looking around was
No,
like,
I don't like the.
I'm
I
not
don't
saying
feel
live here
comfortable.
forever,
I don't
but-
feel comfortable around them.
oh, them.
Mm-hmm.
It is very Spanish.
It's not because I think I'm better than them. I'm not a pineapple guy.
That picture was awkward yesterday. All the shorts.
Well, no, because I'm not the one with the problem with the short guys. They fucking hate me. They try to clip my dick after I'm dead.
That's not right. That's terribly
Yeah.
wrong,
So how would you
actually.
sign off on the 200 foreskins?
Oh, good question.
What do you mean that it's okay?
Yeah.
Well, first off, the dude is a Renaissance man, right? He plays the most
That's
feminine.
the funniest start of an argument for desecrating a corpse.
Yeah, well,
It's
you
just
got
like,
to
listen,
balance.
Yeah, he's a Renaissance man.
He's a Renaissance man.
He's toyed around.
He plays the harp. They say
Right.
the only instrument more feminine than the harp is the piano.
Right? No, well, that's a funny thing. Why I'll laugh at that because I was mocking the shit out of a harp. The piano is a harp.
Top brought that up.
Yeah, no, and dude, that's the difference between people that suck and are fun to be around. I genuinely laughed at that. Because it's a fucking giant harp.
Well, no, we were taking some heat in our chat of people that love you. They're like, Owen Benjamin's trashing King David.
Are they
like,
really?
He's
is
got
it
the
fake
spotlight,
people?
and now he's like trash. Yeah,
I don't know anybody that I've met that would be that gay.
there was some people saying that, and
That
then
they were
so
like,
Top
he's
was
trashing.
Top was like,
I'm
hey,
like, dude, he fucking fucked his friend's wife and then fucking sent him to. I'm like,
that's a terrible.
you're
story.
signing off on that?
No,
It was
that's the worst
beautiful.
story.
Jay Dyer did the same thing.
But then Top was like, we got to
It
talk
was
about
beautiful
this.
because he touched on a thing. Like you're always touching on
Right,
something.
right.
And you're like, when am I going to lose that person?
Right, right.
And
Because
you
they
lose-
didn't actually go at him in a way that was like, maybe some people thought that way, but saying like how many felonies would they face in Florida? Like,
no, these are
good. Because I think it actually revealed what it is, where it's like it was like Socrates, where it's like Socrates asked a bunch of questions, horrifyingly flawed person, but like he was on the road where it's like there was that divine consciousness there in a world where like very few people had it, you know?
yeah. So David,
Like wrestling with the fact that
You
there's
bringing-
consequences to these actions.
you bringing those up shouldn't be offending anybody. Like that's one thing I look at. I go, well, that's one proof that the Bible's real. Like if you're just making a story to convince people to like believe in your religion,
Right.
you're not putting those stories in the book. Like that's
Right.
madness.
Yeah,
Like,
and there is
how-
consequence. It's like it's
Yeah.
a story of consequence.
well, that's that story where I think you brought up where his son bones all his dad's
hookers
concubines.
on the
that
roof.
was a consequence for what he did with Bathsheba, for what he did when he killed Uriah and took Bathsheba, and that whole story. Which that's a crazy story. But But no, so then Top was like, we got to address this thing with Owen Benjamin and King David. I was like, well, dude, the funniest thing about that is like Owen Benjamin is King David. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, dude, the whole story of King David is that like the system runs him out of town.
Yeah,
Saul's government runs him out
like
of
that
town.
with Paul too. That was a funny week.
He develops like a band of misfits and outcasts from society, like out in a mountain, like out in a cave, like out in the wilderness, dude. And all the outcasts from society that know that that system is wrong, like bond to him. I'm like, that is the story of Owen Benjamin.
Right.
And then Top's like, all right, let's do that show. And so I was like, all right, let me run through King David's life real quick. It was like, you got to watch that whole episode, dude. It was like, dude, thing after thing after thing is so consistent. But David doesn't really fall off until the Bathsheba thing, dude. That's when it starts to like go bad.
Yeah.
Okay, but back to justifying the foreskins. He's a Renaissance man.
Dude, there was a time, like, I'm not going to lie, maybe at 20, I might have clipped a dead guy's dick.
Yeah.
Like, now,
I didn't want to
no
bring
chance.
it up, but
I mean, it would have been disgusting, but I would have been like, who gives a fuck? I'm listening to Pearl Jam.
precisely. And it was dark. Yeah, Alice in Chains, Nirvana, like it was dark.
No, like literally, there was a time when I didn't think things mattered that much. I mean, I would
Even
have
to clip a guy's wiener?
I would have naturally no. If it was to get my current wife and someone was like, "You got to clip a dead guy's dick," I probably would have been like disgusted. But I may have clipped the dead guy's dick.
So you do relate to David. I knew it.
Well, I mean, was he disgusted or was he bragging?
No, well, I think the bottom line is it was death, right? They're like how, like, imagine your father-in-law being like, I think you're kind of a bitch, but so if you want to marry my daughter, you got to go kill 100 people.
And then he doubled it, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, he's like,
I
bro.
would not have doubled the dead dick clipping. But I mean, he did go for it. I mean,
he's
he
like,
was
I'm a savage. You think because I play the harp that I'm not a savage?
Right.
It's like, dude, I'm a Renaissance man. Like I can write poetry, the whole book of songs.
Did another
all this
guy
stuff.
hold the dick when he clipped it, or did he hold and clip?
Now that's where it does get a little intriguing, and we don't want it to get a little gay.
Because there could be an answer that isn't as bad, where it's like, oh no, they had a dick guy.
Well, I think when you do the foreskin removal, you use some form of ancient tweezers, right? Like, so hopefully he just kind of, I don't know.
I mean,
But he got 200. What other Bible stuff? Because Top's going to make me jump off, dude. There's a lot of stuff happening.
well, I just wanted, I mean, that to me was the one thing, because I can even understand, infidelity. I can even understand murder. I can understand taking a census because you're afraid of a war. Like, but a dead guy's dick, I was just like, wow. Like, and then, because sometimes I'm around short guys and they're looking at me like, I'm gonna fucking like they get no, because I'll get like ween watches at a urinal from these little Jews in Hollywood, and I was always like, what's up with you fucking guys?
Ween watches?
No, they do. They're like, oh, dang, And it just felt like it wasn't just a bounty. It was like there was some resentment to the dead dicks. But maybe I'm wrong. Like, that's the thing. I'm just exploring the space.
I like that. I appreciate that and respect that.
Because
Like,
you want to know the good thing it does for Christians is you don't idolize prophets. Because I think you only worship God.
well,
So
it
it's like
forces you to deal with it. We should be shied away from any topic or any
Right.
person. Like we
Right.
shouldn't be shying away from anything. It's like if we think we have the stories of reality and hold the story of truth and we value truth and we value like what reality actually is, there's no topic that we shouldn't be willing to talk
and
about.
with the exception of Jesus, every single person in the Bible makes tons of mistakes.
Yeah.
And so that alone, it's like, so we don't talk about them. We pretend it's an abusive drunk dad.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's making a lot of sense right now. He kicked the cat because the cat deserved it. It's like, no, that's a dead guy's dick.
Yeah.
But I get it. Maybe it was like scalping a head.
Which
Maybe
you
it's
do.
the fucking Florida Indians. They would take the head. They would, so maybe it was, it could have been a translation where they're like, oh, take a piece of their head. And everyone's like, oh, it's a dick head. But it was really your scalp.
There's definitely these concepts.
I think it was a penis. I don't
You
know.
think so?
There's definitely concepts of like, David cuts Goliath's head off.
And then he clips his dick.
Well, no, he keeps the head. Like,
And
right?
his dick, though.
I don't think he keeps Goliath.
And I want to know if Goliath agreed to a no slingshot fight first.
No. It's
So-
just an all-out war,
So
dude.
all out war, any weapon?
Yeah, he comes out with a stick, too. He says, dude, you come at me like with a stick? Because he's
Oh,
got a
Goliath
stick with
said
him.
that?
Yeah, yeah. So you come at me with a stick? But like,
Oh, so he was taunting about
you
the
got to
weapons?
watch the episode. Sorry to keep plugging it, but I'll
I'll watch the whole. I mean,
But
especially
like he
now, I'm
comes out
definitely.
with his stuff that he's familiar with. Saul says, "Here, take this military armor that we traditionally use." David puts it on. He says, No, yeah, we do a good bit on you about that part. He goes, no, I can't use what's traditionally used.
I'm not going to have health insurance.
He's like, I use like what I'm.
No,
familiar
literally, that
with.
metaphor is hilarious. It's like I don't need health insurance.
You don't. You don't. All right, what kind of stuff should we say to?
Dude, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
So Goliath wasn't tricked by the sling.
What do you mean?
So he was like, "Fuck you! Use a stick, whatever you want." Like Goliath was into any weapon.
Yeah, he's like, it's
Because I
all
thought
out
they were
war.
trying to like school shooting the shit. Like make an area where you can't use a slingshot, and then someone has a slingshot.
No. It just happens to be what he's familiar with. Because he also
okay.
tells Saul, he says, well, you're not going to like this part. I'm going to say it.
Well, the
anyway.
tribe of Benjamin are really good with slingshots.
Yeah, and I think they can use them left and right handed.
Yeah. Because it is like great with wolves.
Yeah.
Dude, I now own a slingshot. Like someone sent me a giant one. They're fucking insane.
You can like hit stuff with it? Are you pretty good with it?
No, it takes a lot of skill, but I can see how awesome they are.
Then once you get that wingspan going, though,
Dude, it's like boom, and they're super accurate because you can get it going where you're like throwing a ball. He knows about throwing a ball. You get this huge lever.
Yeah.
Where it's just like bang.
Yeah.
No, I love them, and you have like bullets everywhere basically.
So what David tells, all stones laying around everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's what he does. He just goes to the brook. He grabs 5 stones. He says, "Let's do this." But
yeah, he's from the tribe of Benjamin too. That's hilarious.
He's from Judah.
I thought he was Benjamin. Weren't they the slingshot guys? Well, listen, you definitely know more than me, but there was something about the Benjamins with the fucking slingshots. Because I remember I was like laughing about that because I was spiraling about the slingshot.
Yeah, no, he's Judah. There's definitely from Judah, but
Yeah,
the
no.
interesting thing is he tells Saul, like, I'll come fight this guy because I've been working. I'm a working man,
Yeah.
and I tend to sheep.
Dude, that's
he actually was a
hilarious.
big fan of the Sheep Detective show, they say. So he's tending to sheep, and then he's like, dude, I fought off a lion before, and I fought off a bear. He's like, but I've killed both of them,
Nice.
and because of that, like,
He's like,
I'm
I fought
ready."
England and I fought Russia. Because I sometimes think animals can represent big macro shit too.
Like how?
Because, when the Jays, I don't want to talk about, this is
Yeah,
a very,
do it. You got to kill the Jew.
there's
in
a
your heart,
World
like you
War
say.
II narrative about an event.
Sure.
And they used to say that they had to fight off an eagle and a bear in a cage. And that, in my opinion, it meant America and Russia. But I don't know. Maybe it was a real eagle in a cage.
I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but we can go there.
What about the incident in the World War II situation?
Yeah, people just tell me the math doesn't add up, but I don't know enough about it. I'm not very well, like,
No, it's no
educated.
problem. I don't even care anymore. I cared a lot more in like 2019. At this point, I'm like, maybe we pull back a little. I mean, things are getting nuts.
Well, that's what me and Top talk about too. Is just like, let's follow this logic all the way through. It's like, well, okay, but what now? Like, what? Like,
Dude,
what's
what
next?
now is the question.
Yeah, what do you
It's
wanna-
like, do you just keep showing that it didn't exist in the encyclopedias in the 1960s? Or are you like, should we plant some fucking trees?
Yes,
Dude, 100%. Because there's a moment when you're like, everyone's got to know this.
right.
Because, Ghislaine Maxwell's dad is who made all of our textbooks, the human sex trafficking Mossad agent. So, I used to be horrified. I'm like, the things we've done to these people. And when you realize it isn't, allegedly, you're like, oh man, I got to tell everybody. And then you're like, but what does it really matter? It just
Right.
means, because they're still using a sympathy spell for something for nothing. If you know how spells work, you don't have to prove shit. None of it matters. It's like, sorry you went through that, man, but we still got to work. It's still
Right.
the same answer.
Yeah, isn't that like just the ultimate scheme though? That's like doesn't appear so evil, but it's just like to get you consumed with things that are happening on the other side of the world or in the capital or whatever. And
Yeah,
now-
we
now
elevate
you're
the
not
devil
going to
too
the
much.
gym. Now
Exactly.
you're not eating right. Now it's like, how about take care of your stuff like in your little sphere, in your little home, instead of like knowing all the stuff
It's
on
a trap.
planet
It's
Earth.
a trap for truth guys, Christians, all that. You start getting obsessed with the devil like he's your god. It's like, and then he said that, dude, can you believe we didn't turn him into fucking soap? That's crazy. It's like, let it go, man. Yeah, they were lying. They're fucked. They have irritable bowel syndrome. They look like Toucan Sam. Look at the nose on that guy. That sucks. That's like hard. Dude, I think noses get bigger when you lie. I think Pinocchio was a truth drop.
You think it was? That was like
Dude,
a-
I watched I hate to say this about my own dad, but it's like I watched his nose grow.
Isn't that one of the things, like ears that just gets bigger?
Noses. Dude, J.P. Morgan's
do?
nose by the end of his life was fucking huge.
Maybe there is a
Dude,
truth to
Pinocchio
it.
is about an island of misfit kids where you go and you become
Yeah.
a fucking donkey. It's like,
Yeah, that's dark. But maybe there's something to it.
dude, I think a
otherwise-
lot of the children's books are to say dark shit without actually having to say it.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh no, and then they killed Aslan, but Aslan didn't really die. You know, it's like you're saying these biblical things, but for a kid, you don't say it like, you say like, oh, Pinocchio wanted to be a real boy, but he kept lying and his nose got big. You know, it's like you don't say Jews. You're just like, it's Pinocchio.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's terrible.
No, some Jews are great. I know a couple Jews are great.
Yeah. I could imagine that. Is there a lot of Jews where you live?
No. It's farming country. There's
What?
not a lot of derivatives or pornography, so they don't really.
How about, is there a lot of, you don't
I actually do know a couple Jews, and they're pretty base because it's like in Idaho, because like all the demographics when they're in Idaho, they've like went through a trial. It's like they're the good ones.
Right. Like,
Like some of the I have friends with some of the only black people there. They're like the best.
yeah. What do you mean? That's just where people end up when they're like, you know
yeah,
what?
it's when they,
I'm out.
Yeah, because they're not doing the behavior that gets you in the bad areas. Like, because they want to work hard, they want kids, they want an honest life. Like Wall Street just attracts liars of all
Right.
creed, you know.
Right. So by the time you get out to the country and you're like living that farm life, you're living that ag life, you've already just said no to the whole thing.
Yeah, you have to,
Yeah.
especially with winter too. Can you imagine being a victim in winter where it's like,
No.
oh, I'm gonna write a letter to the cold.
Yeah, we'll talk about slavery too, man. Like modern day slavery, like any of these things where you're taking government money, whether it is like whatever Section 8 or
Yeah,
whatever it is.
I tell that to
food
Louis J.
stamps.
Gomez all the time. We want our Section 8 money back now that he's successful.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
we gave those people free housing. And it's like, we can take it back now that you're fucking a coffee mogul.
but isn't that the ultimate slavery?
Oh, 100%.
Like,
well, that's why they want to give reparations to a certain culture, because they know it's like laundering. It's like the kidneys. You just spend it on $1,000 shoes versus you give it to another demographic, they turn it into gold and bury it, you know? Because they
Right.
want money velocity all the time, just moving, pumping.
Because it has to.
It has to move.
What do you think happens next economically then? Do you think they run the money machine again very soon and keep this thing going, or do we go into this crash that like has to happen?
I think we're like fully crashing right now. I mean,
we're
dude,
in the middle of it.
Well, people are coping. I mean, Spokane is burning to the ground right now more than Iran, but people are just like, oh, did you hear it was an arsonist? Oh, did you hear it was climate change? Space lasers by the Jews. You know, I'm like, no, we don't have enough fire department, and our fucking houses are made out of cardboard. Like, that's why it's all burning to the ground. And people are like, oh, says the Jew. I'm like, no, dude, it's like a fact. I have to fight wildfires and shit. Like, this is what's happening. I live right there. You know, our modern structures are made out of the most flammable shit. We have electricity and natural gas, and there's like no firefighters because everybody's fucking broke.
Yeah.
So it's like buildings are burning to the ground like fucking Sodom and Gomorrah. And people are just like, so when's the crash happening? I'm like, dude, you wore a mask for 4 years and you cut off your dick. Like
Yeah.
we're crashed. You know what I mean? And it's like people are arguing about this $20 burrito. I'm like, it's all poisonous food. Like this shit is made by shit that gives everyone cancer.
Yeah.
Like they took the nutrients out of it and they filled it with like carcinogens.
You're living in the crash, whether you like it
Oh,
or
dude,
not.
totally, man.
Yeah. So the solution is growing the food. So what does your morning routine look
Or
like?
just
then?
like the solution is biblical. It's just gratitude, praying to God, like being a good person in your family. Like money doesn't save us, man. You know that. It's like just doesn't save us.
Right.
It doesn't. Sometimes I think a lot of these problems are because people were like swimming in unearned fucking dough. Like, was it good for the boomers? They went to the moon. They got all this money. They're like, dude, we bought this house for $3,000. We sold it for $3 million, and I got a BJ from a Filipino. It's like, it didn't help them. You give sugar to fucking ants, it doesn't help them.
All right, we're gonna do the rest of this podcast in the food forest, but I
Let's do
appreciate
it.
this a ton, dude. You like didn't
Had a
have to do
blast.
this.
No,
This
I
is so
love these
cool
combos.
for you
It's
to
fucking
come in and do
great.
this, man.
I love it.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
very
having me.
much, dude.
Yeah,
Thank you for this book.
I'll plug it because you told me to plug it. How to Slay a Wizard on Amazon. And then Ladle.tv is where all my stuff is because I got kicked off all the other shit. And now that they're letting me back on, it's better to have my own thing anyway. Like, Work's really good.
So they should just go on Ladle.tv.
Ladle.tv, $9.11 a month because
So
you'll
you
never forget.